Hey, we're here. We're
here.
Holy
We're
trifecta.
Hey, we're hey.
You've come.
Lumineers.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about your Vance Joy video?
Sure.
Look, let's just get into it.
I don't understand the start point.
Let's just get into it.
We started.
You sound kind of sick about it.
Let's just get into it.
What about Vance Joy? Love that cute boy.
Your video that you made about him. It was all you.
You have any thoughts about that?
I love that video.
Love that cute boy.
Love that cute boy.
Cut space E boy.
There's this one image on there that you zoom, like his face is so tiny on his head. Like,
I know the one.
have you ever seen those videos of Mitt Romney with a tiny face?
Yes.
His face is just like the most minuscule portion of his head.
It's kind of the thinking, because I think he's a small, insignificant man.
so his face should match that.
Look, Dana, he's going to take you down to the Riptide.
Oh no.
You know about the Riptide, Chris?
I do.
We're not going to talk about the Riptide because Vance Joy's music is garbage. It makes me want to vomit. It makes me sick and feel insecure about everything in my life. And I think he's a bad person. That's why I made the Vance Joy tribute. I like the, really bad, poorly put together tributes on YouTube, sort of like in an AMV style.
Yeah.
With like
God, AMVs.
Yeah.
Oh,
very much so. That's my
something I
thing.
haven't heard in a while.
Do you remember my victim TF1 Akrata? The guy that defended Rooster Teeth?
Yeah.
He had some
Mountain Dew cannons.
He had some Gundam AMVs set to Linkin Park.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
Linkin
man.
Park's got a new song.
I had a classmate
Oh.
who made some like Naruto AMV set to a God. What was it?
They're always so emotional. Modest Mouse.
It was.
Float on.
Why the fuck would they set it to Modest Mouse?
Float on.
It was the song Shangri-La.
I want to say something.
By Beastie Boys?
No.
I want to say
I'll have
something.
to show it to you.
Before we get into why Linkin Park deserves to be court-martialed, a remake of It is coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephen King, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Originally a book, followed by a very poorly made miniseries
TV series.
starring the great Tim Curry in the role of Pennywise the Clown.
I thought that was the movie, not the series.
There's no movie.
Miniseries.
There's no movie.
Well, they aired it and released it a few times as like a compiled movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was mistaken too. There's no movie.
I haven't seen any of it.
But Tim Curry, I have a lot of respect for, and I think he gave it his all as that clown. But they're deciding to do a movie. And if you're not familiar with It, I have read It. I'm actually a pretty big Stephen King fan.
Have you read Cujo?
I've not read Cujo, actually.
Cujo's good.
I've read The Stand, everything in the Dark Tower series. That's another thing that's coming out.
Yep,
I'm not happy
that's
about
right.
that.
That did not.
But here's the thing.
I think the only Stephen King book I've read is The Shining.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good book. Better at movie adaptation. I don't say that about many movies, but the Jack Nicholson one was
I
better.
think Jack Nicholson fucking killed it.
He
did,
fucking nailed
yeah.
it.
Yeah, but Shelley Duvall.
Yeah!
I like the scene when she's in the restroom.
Yeah.
That iconic scene where he's just like breaking through the wall and she like cuts his head and he goes, "Oh!"
She's so bad.
She played her purpose pretty.
I
She played the role, whatever. Jack Nicholson was, I hate to say it, the star. And she was like just a vehicle for another character. I hate to say that, but that's how movies were made back then. Anyway, the reason I bring up It is because I have a theory and a projection about the movie. If you've seen the trailer, anybody seen the trailer?
Yeah.
There is a theme of "You'll float too, you'll float too, we all float down here." And that's what the warped children say, that it has lured into the sewer to consume. Mm-hmm. I say it now. People are going to start making jokes about Modest Mouse's Float On. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to remix the commercial. They're going to do shit. They're going to do tributes. And it's going to feature Float On. I'm calling it now.
I don't think so.
Why? People are that predictable.
The age of AMVs are dead. Setting music to
I disagree. I strongly
disagree
disagree.
to like AMV style videos.
The Vine age has ushered in,
It's dead. Vine is dead.
but it's not really.
But people
like,
will still make tribute videos.
No, but not even tribute videos. Like just people layering on music to add comedic effect, but it actually just takes a lot away from the video.
No, but people do a lot.
Like I was telling you, with like cat videos where the cat jumps off a roof, they time it to "Sail" by AWOL Nation.
Yeah.
Help!
That's what I'm saying. It's not
I'll tell you what people do. They make funky faces to
funky faces.
Podcast title.
What's the name? I think it's called Musically or it's something like that. Where It's a video where music plays while you're filming yourself, like on Instagram, and you lip sync to the song.
Oh god.
Oh, is that the one with like the really jerky movements?
Yeah, that.
Right.
It like people.
That's an app?
Yeah, there's an app for that.
Oh.
Jeez.
Sponsor us, Apple. There's an app for that.
Oh. But anyway, am I wrong? Someone's gonna pair it. So some way.
Okay, fair.
Someone's gonna
agree.
compare, like put it together besides me.
Generally, yes. I think if you think that, then someone else less fortunate will think that and try to capitalize on it.
I'm just saying.
Because that's what I thought. Like
now, it's gonna happen. That movie's gonna blow up. I mean, it's gonna.
You think it's gonna blow up?
I feel the hype is already rolling, and they're gonna do 2 parts. In the novel, there's a kid portion and there's an adult portion.
Yeah.
They're gonna do it as 2 movies.
Yeah, they've already set it up like that too, haven't
Yes, and you know, I don't want to get into the minutia of the trailer. It's whatever. It's not to me terrible.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of horror movies, Chris.
No, not really.
But there's one scene that I take fault with. When you see it or the clown rising from the depths, he goes, "Rah!"
Where he runs at the kids?
That sucks. That sucks.
God. Yeah, I'll bring it up. Okay. I think Rocco from Mega 64 even said that completely defeats the purpose of Pennywise. He's a clown. He's supposed to be friendly, but then like you look deeper in, and he's like, "Well, that's messed up."
I like the projector scene.
There's something wrong with it.
It's never supposed to be like in your face. Ooh, I'm spooky.
Running at you in the sewers.
That's why I thought the projector scene was pretty cool. Actually,
yeah, that's cool.
I thought that was pretty unsettling. Daniel, you really do need to watch this. 'Cause it's pretty.
I'll check it out.
It's worth looking at.
I'll definitely check it out.
But
who's playing it or Pennywise?
Some guy, something Skarsgård.
Skarsgård. That's right. He's from True Blood.
Yeah,
and he was in Generation Kill. Also,
he doesn't look anything like him, so he might as well not be. I don't know.
Yeah, you could put anyone in that.
Maybe he'll do a great job with it, but I mean, I don't know. The thing about the Tim Curry, it was upon like looking at him just initially before like fucked up teeth are bared. That might just be like a fucked up clown. Yeah. Like it's not like, oh god, that's a terrifying clown. But this clown looks sadistic and fucked up from the start.
He's not.
Like, he needs to be able to lure children in.
Right. Tim Curry's Pennywise was not inherently scary.
And he talked like this.
He's scary to us because we know of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like if we,
but to a kid,
it has to be attractive to a certain point.
Well, exactly. No, we never heard of it. Like if we had never heard of it, we'd just be like, "That's a clown."
Yeah,
but
we know
this new one is like, "Oh god!"
Yeah, we know Tim Curry's it, so we're scared of it immediately. Yeah. But yeah, that one is just like
it's just like that is a fucked up clown.
Yeah.
So
I agree. It does take a little bit away from it. Like it takes away that sort of childlike, innocence of, oh, it's a clown, it can't fuck with me.
And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And living in a post-clown being terrifying era, it's...
God, everybody's like, oh, I'm afraid of clowns. God, clowns terrify me.
Well, I mean, you had back in a couple of years ago, the whole, like, clowns standing in unnecessary creepy places.
That was about a year and a half
remember
ago.
that?
Yeah.
They tried to pin that to the production of
I don't even think that was a year ago.
For viral marketing purposes.
Maybe a year ago?
It really has nothing to do with this movie. People just started fucking doing that. Yeah. I think it kind of stems from, like, post-Slender Man phenomena where people standing in the distance wanted to be fucking creepy. Yeah. Just the image of that stark, immediately.
Which it is.
Yeah. But
yeah, I'd freak out if I saw a clown like
just in a really awkward place, like the wrong place.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing to see him in some like a bright, happy setting, maybe in a city or something. But when it's like dark street lamp night, it's like okay, fuck that.
Yeah,
like that's not cool.
Yeah,
or really anything.
Like driving home late.
I don't need to see that
him under a street light.
Have you guys ever experienced something like that where you're driving home or walking and like you just see something out of the corner of your eye and you're like, that's not right?
Well, back when the Slender Man thing was a big deal, my mother would always... I, exposed her to it because she, I don't know, my dad doesn't like scary stuff. My mother always shared my kind of love of horror and stuff, and she thought the Slender Man stuff was kind of significant. And she always tells me that now whenever she's driving home, if she sees, a bag hung on a tree or something, like a white bag, like the face of Slender Man or something, it kind of freaks her out a little bit because she just sees the white in the darkness, and I don't know. That's the only example I could think of. I mean, you have people walking around along the side of the road at night.
Yeah.
But that never really. Yeah. Occasionally, one might really sneak up on you. Like if it's like in a country road situation, it's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be out. But if it's in the city, it's like people walk around all the time. And it's brightly lit.
I mean, fucking people here in the city walk on the highway.
Exactly.
We talked about this on podcast 8, which was the one about getting lost. It's still on. The one about getting lost, with your parents and how like a primal fear kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about specifically that time when like a friend and I got lost in like the backwoods of the North Carolina mountains.
We talked about this a good
and just
bit.
like everything we saw was just a little bit off, like a degree off of reality, which
I feel like you guys already started to panic a little bit.
Right,
and then everything became amplified, and you became really hypersensitive.
You start projecting,
exactly, and your internal fears start to manifest themselves in the unknown that you may not be seeing.
It just felt like we were so lost in this city and like Appalachian area we've never been to.
Appalachian stuff, man.
Right, and it just seemed like everyone was looking at us.
Oh god!
Like whenever we would stop, it was just wrong.
Just because we're on the subject of spooky things and like Stephen King related things, because we brought up Stephen King. That's kind of what we catapulted off of. They're adapting The Dark Tower.
Yeah,
I
haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't heard of this.
The Dark Tower is a series of several books based off a character known as the Gunslinger, who Idris Elba is actually playing in this. And I am very fond of Idris Elba. I think he's a very talented actor, and if they ever did a Black Bond, there you go. Right fucking there. Right fucking there. Idris Elba all the way.
I agree.
There's no other choice.
Yeah.
And I told this to my dad. And
he's slick. He's elegant.
He's British.
He's British.
And I told him this to my dad, and he was just like, I'm fundamentally against, I'm not being racist, just Bond is a white guy. What do you think about that?
I don't mean to go against the grain here.
No, but please.
I think I agree with your dad.
None of us are racist here. It's very clearly evidence that we're far left leaning.
Like I think that if they want to do something like that in the Bond universe, I think they should make Idris Elba another Asian. I don't think
it's fair.
Bond is a white guy. I don't know. Like
Ian Fleming's James Bond.
What if Bond was female?
Yeah.
Could Bond be female?
The thing that I have an issue with in terms of just like, let's place this guy here because it's progressive or whatever.
Yeah, and
obligatory.
That's the problem I have.
Is it obligatory or is that something cynical about you?
That's what no. No, that's just a trend. The thing about Bond is it doesn't really matter what he is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess you could make the argument against him being a woman because he's a violent spy.
Yeah.
Women can't be that?
And a womanizer.
Spies or spies? She could be gay.
I don't know. It's just that's why it's tough to talk about.
That's why I brought it up.
But him being black or white or whatever, it's kind of just I don't know.
Yeah, ultimately I feel it's irrelevant. Because if you're gonna make a great movie about a British spy, make it. You know what I mean? It's just if Idris Elba was James Bond, he would sell a fuck ton of tickets, and I would watch it.
And he'd play well.
I'd be totally into it.
He'd play it as hard as he could.
I'm 100% positive he would make a great fucking movie.
Would he make a great Bond, though?
I think so.
Okay, well, we can at least agree on that.
Yeah.
He would do anything in the role the best he could.
I agree.
I feel like.
And
he's a fine actor.
I absolutely agree. If they choose to go that route, I think he would make a fantastic Bond.
Exactly. And it's going to happen eventually. Because
Yeah.
they're going to keep rebooting this.
Do you think with Idris Elba, though?
If they don't do it soon enough, because the man's getting old.
Idris Elba has to be...
Here's an idea.
James Bond has to be
Next James Bond, Donald Glover.
Oh, God!
No! You are a son of a bitch.
But Idris Elba is almost...
Okay, hold on. Donald Glover makes a lot of poor decisions. For example, he's heading a Deadpool animated series. I heard about that recently. And just the very idea of Deadpool bothers me.
Right.
And not just because of the movies, but because I knew Deadpool before the Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And I just think that is a weird fit for Donald Glover. For all I know, it may be great. But he's got a lot to learn still. I watched him when he was in Community as, Abed's friend. Yeah. And there's the corny kind of nerdy black guy as in that role, and I think he can definitely shift personalities because you both probably heard Childish Gambino.
The only reason I said Donald Glover is because of his kind of Chris Pratt presence.
Donald Glover is the black
he just seems to be showing up.
Young upstart.
Yeah,
that's kind of the thing.
It's just like
because he's the young Lando Calrissian.
Here's the thing: I don't think Bond needs to be young. I don't think he needs to be old. I think he needs to be mature.
Here's the thing against
an adult.
Yes,
that's the
Donald Glover's not that level.
My argument against what you're saying, where like Bond is a white guy. The argument I have against it is like he time travels basically, but Bond is timeless. Like he's been in Soviet Russia.
He's a symbol.
He's been at the end of like the Cold War for GoldenEye, like the fall of the Iron Curtain.
Like Bond.
He's been in like
you're exactly right.
2014 or 2012 Skyfall.
Bond
present day.
Yeah, Bond is a title, not a name.
Right.
I think it's a concept.
Yeah,
he's a concept.
Yeah,
he's a symbol and a concept.
Yeah.
So it's
and something like that. I know people will be upset if they make him
it'll be
black,
a scandal.
Hispanic, or a woman, whatever. But
imagine a Mexican Bond. Hell yeah.
A Mexican female half-black Bond.
Oh, God.
Can you imagine? And he's Muslim. Can you imagine the outcry?
God, like so many conservative anuses would clench. It'd be like a proton star.
The studios would never do it.
But see, that's what I don't really. Stupid. That's what I don't get is like you're specifically tokening those categories. If you do that, you know what you're doing.
I'm doing it for conversation's sake.
You're taking all the marks if you do that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which is equally racist.
Yeah. I'm just doing it for the discussion.
No, I know.
Saying it's ever going to happen. But, this shit's going to go on forever.
Yeah.
As long as movies exist. And we're going to face these roadblocks eventually.
Yeah.
Because that's just how things go. And, I don't know. It's a really good, interesting discussion. Because, even if you don't like Bond movies, you understand what Bond is culturally.
Yeah, which he has always been a British white guy.
But the thing is,
and to shake that up would be
I meant
weird.
more as the significance.
Because he's also kind of evolved with time. Because
people made a fucking stink when he was blonde.
Yeah,
they did.
Could you imagine?
People don't like change.
If Idris Elba was Bond, what it would do?
They'd be boycotted.
It'd be crazy.
Or not boycotted, but there'd be protests.
It'd be all the Brexit people like, oh, what are you doing?
Make him not British.
Oh. You can't do that.
You can't do the biggest fuck you.
It's one thing for his ethnicity to be a question, but his
role
and nationality, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's his character. His character is his British wit, whatever.
Yeah. A British womanizer. And that vehicle can be a woman, a black person, any of them.
But it has to be British.
Exactly.
Or else don't make it
We can at least agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you take that away, you strip so much of his identity.
Yeah.
Because then you just got Jack Reacher or something, it's just alright, this white, why is everything so sterile in American movies? There's no personality to it. But sorry, we deviated so far from the Dark Tower. It's already causing a stir and a controversy because Idris Elba.
Why?
What about it, though?
The character's not described as black, the gunslinger.
Gotcha.
And people are already raising fucking hell about that. And the fact that that's a long series of books.
Yeah.
They're jumping to book 2 and condensing it with book 3 and 4.
God, fucking, the first, okay, so, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt,
No.
A Series of Unfortunate Events. The Jim Carrey movie condensed the first 4 books into this one.
They are short books.
Not so great movie, but
they're short books.
If they had to go some direction, they should have gone the Netflix or HBO route and gone
I have not watched the Netflix one.
I mean, either.
There's a Netflix version of it.
With what's his
name? Wait, guess who's Count Olaf?
Chris Pratt.
No, not a bad guess though. Think 2013 popularity. Think somebody who's young, who's good looking, blonde, gay.
Neil Patrick Harris.
There you go. I think it looks good.
I think he makes a good Count Olaf. But I think Jim Carrey made a good Count Olaf too.
I never saw it. I read the books, or like the first three
The
of
books
them.
are awesome. I love the books.
That
sorry,
second one, that snake messed me up.
Sorry,
Are we
the
going
best.
further into this? Because I
Please.
wanted to bring something up. Mega 64 talked about Call of Duty World War II
Oh my!
and how like they're including like certain races or whatever,
Yeah.
and like how that was not historically accurate. But then their argument was, yeah, but there are zombies, and I'm excited for that.
Ugh.
Don't you think there's a line
Yeah.
between the zombies and the campaign? Because the zombies is
It's a separate game
obviously not historically
Yeah,
accurate,
right.
I mean,
and not even trying
here's
to
the thing.
be.
You have the game mode, and then you have the theme of the game as a separate mini game.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
it.
Like, that's a mini game.
That's not to say that the zombies could have happened in World War II.
Right.
No, this is a zombies minigame set in World War II, a
Yeah.
World War II game.
Yeah.
And I don't want to defend fucking Call of Duty because, goddamn it,
Yeah, but
I
it
hate that
received a
series.
lot of criticism.
Yeah.
well, every Call of Duty game is always going to be the subject of controversy and fucking bullshit and it's terrible, it's great, multiplayer's good.
It's the GTA of the shooter world. Every time a new GTA
Oh,
comes
God.
out, every time a new GTA comes out, some fucking news report comes out. You can fuck prostitutes.
I feel like GTA 5 wasn't that bad actually with that.
Those lap dances were pretty.
Have you seen?
No, I mean like the news reports. I know the virtual rape was
God,
bad.
I caught.
I think after
a
San,
big whiff of that.
I think after San Andreas, like there was nothing more for people to gripe about.
Yeah.
So when this game came out, they were like, you know,
yeah.
like in 4
Dude,
filled
my
in the
God.
gap. You know,
In Mass Effect 1, it was a big deal that you could have sex with an alien.
oh Lord, Andromeda.
Like, could
Oh,
you
God,
could
help me.
you
How do you get offended with like
something that like doesn't exist
Yeah.
as we know? You know, like
We'll see.
Imagine 50
I'm
years.
holding out hope.
Imagine 50 years in the future.
I said as we know.
Some aliens invade Earth and they're like, these Krogans look a lot like our people. We're offended.
Time to fuck.
Yeah, they're into it. They're just like, oh, you're into this? Me too.
We are vaguely anthropomorphic and humanoid. Let's do this.
We want to copulate.
Do you have orifices too? Let's go.
Imagine Baylock coming into.
Oh no!
No, but like
Howard, no!
Let us reproduce.
what I'm saying is like in Mass
We're
Effect
bringing it all together.
in Mass Effect 1 and 2, you can have sex with an alien as a human character. And like a lot of people got upset. Like, who are you defending? The
Yeah,
aliens?
like what? Like,
Are you defending aliens right now? Like, what are you doing?
I like it in Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, like the sex scenes are a little more,
They're way more
a
explicit,
little more lewd.
Yeah.
But when you're a chick, you play the female character.
but it still has male.
It's the same male
Yeah.
animation. And it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm sorry, I just wanted to crowbar Mass Effect Andromeda in there because it's been the subject of fucking discussion for the last 3 months.
That's a mess.
what
You know, and I consider
I'm happy
myself
about it.
a Mass Effect like original trilogy fan. Like I played through
Really?
those games and liked them.
I didn't know that.
I like them.
Oh yeah, Chris is into them.
They don't hold up particularly well. They're
Ladder-
really
Ladder
awkward
two?
with the cutscenes, huh?
And the latter 2 and 3.
2 is the best one.
Here 3 didn't stick the landing.
3 is the best gameplay wise, but yeah, the story, the ending is terrible.
I just that's
And
BioWare, right?
Yes.
I love Knights of the Republic 1 and 2. I
Yeah.
love those
I
games.
never played any of those games.
That's what 2 is great. It's one of my favorite games. But I mean, what's your opinion on it as a Mass Effect fan?
On Andromeda?
Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible.
Fucking
It's an
mess. You
You
embarrassment.
don't want to play it even just
no,
because it's set
no
in the
interest.
universe?
No interest.
Okay.
If it came out like 3 years ago, yeah.
Like, okay, for example, if there was a just gaping sore of a Halo game, I'd probably still play it if it was a main platform.
Well, here I can give you an example right now. Dark Souls 2.
Ooh, that's good. That's a good example.
I love Demon Souls.
Is it worth playing?
I love Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls 3. I love Bloodborne.
But
Dark Souls 2 is an embarrassment to the series, and I do not own it, and I will never
talked
own
to
it.
a lot of people.
You did
about
own
that.
it though, at some point.
But I sold it.
Scholar of the First Sin Edition.
No,
you had the fucking
I think
Thank you,
aluminum
thank
version.
You, thank
Look,
you, Daniel, for
I
being
think
here.
buying it and selling it is more of a statement than never owning it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I've heard a lot of mixed opinions about the game.
Terrible game.
Game's not good.
I've heard people who love the first one and say that this one's great too, and the third one's great as well.
It's hollow. It's terrible.
We're not going to get into it, but I have been playing Dark Souls.
Which one? One?
Yes.
Dark Souls 1's awesome.
It does feel bad after playing Bloodborne.
Yes, it does.
It feels super clunky.
It's stiff. It's awkward. But I respect the level design, and just there's a structure to these FromSoft
Dark
games.
Souls 1 has the best level design of the whole series.
It's so cohesive. It's awesome.
There's just shit I get hung up on, and I get stuck on, but I'm still like determined because I can still respect it. Like that. A great example is the fucking dragon on the bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
Early in the game. It's like, man, fuck this. This is bullshit. But I pressed on, and I cut that asshole's tail off.
Yep.
And
Did you shoot it with arrows?
No.
What? How?
Oh, you can get underneath it, right?
You just lure it down by going behind a wall, cut around,
And you
cut off its fucking tail, and get a
Drake
Drake
sword. The Drake
That-
sword.
Yeah.
Great ass sword. I'm
Yep.
still using it. I'm not far into the game because I've had significant issues with this game, and I refuse to use guides. I refuse flat
That's
out.
fair.
So I'm just gonna fucking ruin myself till I figure it out.
So, are we in video game talk now?
Yes,
Can,
All right.
well, can we start with something?
Daniel, go for it.
Can we do something real
Sure.
quick?
Do it.
Jay, I know we've talked.
Oh
we've talked
fuck!
something about this.
Fucking asshole. Fucking.
We've got an opinions crowd,
God damn it!
and this one's for you, baby.
Oh fuck.
Are you ready for this?
Yes.
For anybody who
What are
doesn't
the
know the
rules
rules,
of the game?
anybody who doesn't know the rules of the game, you either say good or bad. I'm gonna name off a whole bunch of shit, and I'm gonna keep going. We gotta keep it. We gotta keep moving. We gotta keep moving.
Fucking.
All right, cue the music. All right, we're gonna play it there. All right, are you ready?
Lay it on me. Halo Reach.
Are you ready for opinion scramble?
Thought you were about to ask me about Halo Reach.
This is the third
Bad.
episode of Opinion Scramble.
Third episode of opinion scramble. Are you ready?
Bad.
Ready?
Go.
Pronouncing Target as Target.
Bad.
Bob's Burgers.
Bad.
GTA.
Good.
Chevy commercials.
Bad.
Big screen TVs.
Good.
Crash Bandicoot. Oh.
Good.
Wow. Soot.
Bad.
Nick Offerman memes.
Bad.
Undercuts.
Bad.
Beethoven.
Good.
Copper.
Bad.
Sacrifice.
Good.
Rolls Royce.
Bad.
Kurt Cobain.
Bad.
Kirko Bangs.
Good.
Juggling.
Bad.
Oranges.
Good.
Metal album covers.
Bad.
Costco.
Good.
Lumps.
Good.
A Bug's Life.
Good.
Sympathy.
Bad.
Antiques Roadshow.
Bad.
Eels.
Good.
Tight jeans.
Bad.
Even tighter jeans.
Good.
Literacy.
Good.
Digestion.
Bad.
Jurassic Park.
Good.
Accidentally looking at a dog pooping.
Good.
Uncle.
Bad.
Ray William Johnson.
Bad.
Lips.
Good.
Credit reports.
Bad.
KFC spicy $20 fill up with mashed potatoes and coleslaw.
Good.
Egg.
Good.
Getting fresh.
Good.
Uncle Fester.
Bad.
Limping.
Bad.
Chon.
Good.
Woo! You're dead.
Oh, it hurts. It fucking hurts so bad because you had some.
I could see the pain on
you
your
had
face.
some loaded.
I was
ones in
scared
there.
watching you. You seemed really tense. You were like, oh.
Overall, metal album covers are bad. There's some really good ones too.
You said bad for Kurt Cobain.
Ooh.
The Legacy.
Okay, yeah.
Fair.
I don't think Nirvana was that good of a group. I think they were okay. I don't think they were a great group. I think they were a good group that has become legendary because he fucking died.
Biggie, Tupac.
I think Biggie was
Biggie.
talented. I think Biggie was talented.
Tupac, fuck him.
Oh no, I'm giving examples.
Fuck
I don't like
Tupac.
Tupac either.
That holier than thou piece of shit.
Yep.
I hate you. How dare you bring this? How dare you do this?
I was ready. I told you.
You pulled the carpet from underneath me.
I told you.
God.
You say you didn't have one ready? I had one ready.
I tried to put it on my head because I didn't know you'd be a betrayer. Fucking General Betrayus.
Go.
You remember that when Petraeus was in all that hot water and everybody was like, General Petraeus!
Betrayed us.
I don't know if that was Fox News Limbo or what.
I don't
Lingo.
know.
That's
Fox News Limbo.
Rush lingo.
Fox News
Rush
Limbo.
Lingo.
Oh, we got some titles brewing.
Rush lingo.
Well,
When that was happening, that was before I cared about politics. at all.
O'Reilly's gone. Anyway, that's great. Let's all get into politics. He's a rapist.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
God.
I'm really glad your wallpaper has persisted.
Oh, of course. It can never go away.
What? How long ago did you put it?
The day at Avondale.
Almost a year ago.
That we've somehow found a really awkward shot of Rocco Bodie
On that show with the girl from AT&T in commercial.
To this day, she's so attractive.
Oh, yeah.
To this day, it still makes me laugh, though.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That's foamy as fuck.
God, this fucking shit.
That was when we went to that bar.
Avondale.
And, like, we found that video and we were just cackling.
I don't know what happened. Like, Rocco was just in the background so awkwardly, like, staring forward. It is a painful shot. It's hard to look at.
That was a fun day.
Oh, it was a great day.
That bartender. You guys need some water?
Well, every bartender I see, I think is hot, so I have a problem.
That was a... I don't think you thought that guy was hot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that chick at that one place that made you wait for a long time for that patty melt.
Yeah.
Where, like, I was, like, interested in her behind. But anyway.
She was not that. Yeah.
Top 5 favorite games. Fuck you all.
What? No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing this tonight. We're doing this with Art.
Yeah.
Okay, cut that out. I don't want to do it so badly.
We're doing that. That's going to be...
I'm telling you, this is precast.
Anyway, getting back to some video games. I've beaten a few things.
Yes. I specifically texted you about Last of Us.
Ooh.
In which you said,
wait for the fuck, I'm ready to talk about that. How do you just bring that up?
What do you mean?
Fucking rude bitch. How do you think I'm ready to talk about it?
I think you're ready for it.
Ease into it a little bit. I numbered them in the order that I want to talk about.
Fine. Hey, do as you will.
I replayed Bioshock 1.
Oh, yeah.
Never played
But you beat that a while ago.
I have played 15 minutes of Bioshock Infinite, and I hated it.
Bioshock Infinite I haven't beaten or played much of. But Bioshock 1, I got the Bioshock Collection for PlayStation 4. I felt like revisiting a few things. Bioshock 1 still holds up awesomely. Great game. You've never played it.
Never played it.
You are insane. I'm leaving my copy here.
Fair.
I have it.
You have the collection?
On PS3. Oh, fuck
They
off.
cleaned it up! They cleaned it up,
It's a
man!
Steam game.
They made it so good. I know you're just not going to play fucking PS3. You don't want to play that.
Yes, I will. I played
like,
fucking Red Dead the whole way.
I've got my PS4 and some Rocket League. Or I could play Bioshock on PS3.
What are you doing, like a Steve-O impression?
Just 6. If it's less than 6 FPS, it's not PC Master Race.
It's not a real game.
It's not PC Master Race.
Are you in a game?
Are you doing a Boogie impression? Wow, you wave him off?
Yeah, I just...
Get out of here. Anyway, it's incredible that game still holds up not only on a gameplay level, but also on a story and emotional development level. Great character development, awesome stuff, great villains, great fucking level design, amazing, terrifying, horrible, and just a great game.
Favorite character?
Parker.
What?
I didn't write this one down.
I don't know. I
didn't fucking write this one down. You fucking Tenenbaum. I don't know.
Tenenbaum?
Yeah.
I like Sandra
Royal
Cohen.
Tenenbaum.
Sandra
Cohen's
great.
awesome.
That's a great portion of the game. Doesn't last long enough.
I think it was fine.
He's not sympathetic in any way.
I think he was fine.
He's not multi-dimensional. He's just crazy. It's like saying the Joker's the greatest villain of all time.
Well, a lot of people would argue that.
A lot of people would say that.
He's just a wild card.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, Joker.
there needs to be a moral dilemma. Anyway,
Sure.
I had a real time with something. You know, I've had a PlayStation 4 for a while. You know, I was an Xbox man.
How long were you an Xbox man before you had the PlayStation?
How long, Chris?
You got the Xbox in 2015 November.
Okay.
And you got the PS4 a year later, exactly almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even less than a year.
Coincides with my birthday.
You...
Funny how that works.
Yep.
But I was no purist. I acknowledge the faults in the Xbox. But when I got the PlayStation 4, I said, look, I've got this thing. I'm going to do what I did with the Xbox.
Give the
exclusives.
Yep.
Go for it. Uncharted.
Which I'm not a fan of.
I've never played any of them.
Chris has always been a pretty vocal critic.
I've played the second one a little bit. And
That's the one they say is so good.
Right, exactly. And
one of the greatest games of all time I've seen.
It didn't do anything for me. I don't like Nathan Drake as a character. I think he's just boring and way too arrogant. Like, not fun to be around.
The first game.
He's if Chris Pratt was Indiana Jones.
He's just Nathan fucking Fillion.
Not quite.
He's like Nathan Fillion
Nathan Fillion light.
From
all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
somehow stomachable. You know I hate everything. But I told myself, look, damn it, I've got this shit. They rant about these fucking games. There's got to be something to it. I played
I just don't think there's anything to it.
I played the recent Tomb Raider game, not Rise of the Tomb Raider, but the one before that. That was on the PS3 and
Tomb Raider
and
Just
360.
Tomb Raider.
That they made a release for, that my save file got corrupted right at the end, and I was like, God damn it! I liked that game. I like the spirit of adventure. I like exotic locales. I like lots of bright imagery and forests and cliffs and snow and shit. I love it. I love exploring, campsites, fire, climbing. I like all of that. So I said, well, god damn it. Alright, I gotta play fucking Uncharted. Bought the Uncharted collection. 1 through 3 are in that. Couldn't get... I tried to play the first one for a while. That game took me 6 months to beat. I did not like that game.
First one?
Yes, I did not like that game at all.
Yeah.
You're on a fucking pirate island, and all you do is, bad platforming for a little bit. Climb up this fucking stone.
And that came out in 07, right?
Wave of
Fuck, that was 07?
wave of uninteresting enemies. After wave of uninteresting enemies. Just flooding. Okay, bad platforming. Wave of enemies. Just, Jesus Christ, it was bad. But I will not call it a bad game. Just an extremely average platformer with really repetitive, mediocre gunplay. Stuffed between in a third-person package.
What would you say, like compared to its contemporaries, would you say it could be perceived as a good game?
No.
No, not even?
No.
No. I mean, I like, considering the fact that I might even say that about Dark Souls, no way Uncharted 1 holds up.
Nathan Drake...
Like... to be clear, I love Dark Souls, but Dark Souls 3 is such a better game gameplay-wise.
Nathan Drake, as a character, is a little bit like if Han Solo was mixed with a very young Indiana Jones that was just a cocky piece of shit.
Right.
But somehow, he did not faze me. He somehow seemed benign enough. And I liked some of the surrounding characters a little bit, but one left no impression on me whatsoever. I was so happy to be done with it. Especially because I've heard nothing but enormous, unending praise about the second one. Just massive. Seriously, on Wikipedia it's like listed as one of the greatest games of all time.
It's like playing the 64 Smash Brothers, being like, oh my god, Melee's so much better.
But I played 2. That's a good game. That's a good game.
The blue people, the Shangri-Las didn't faze you at all?
I was like, what the fuck is this? But the way the game started was so bombastic. That's the one where you climb up the fucking train that's like sideways and shit.
It was...
And I like snowy environments, and that hooked me in.
And it wasn't in chronological order, which...
And Nathan Drake, he isn't much of a character to begin with.
No.
But he just delivers occasionally corny punchlines. But the surrounding characters actually pull him back a little bit, saying, what the fuck was that? That was fucking horrible. What the fuck is that? You idiot.
That's
You're stupid.
I mean, that's the reason we've talked about why I love True Detective Season 1 so much. Because, like, Rust Cole will say something absolutely insane, but also gives, like, some philosophical insight. You can be like, oh, that's pretty cool. But then Marty will be like...
didn't do that.
Marty will just be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Shut the fuck up.
Well, that's what, like, Sully, we've talked about Sully. You don't like his archetype.
Yes.
And I don't think of
Sully's
him as
anything
the, like,
special.
crass uncle. I don't think of him as that. And I don't know if it was just the fact that I played so much of it and I saw so much of it and I grew, like, oddly connected to him. But he's a fun character in a lot of ways. And there's nothing objectionable about him like Nathan Drake. And he often brings Nathan Drake back down to earth. And I appreciated that. And he had a good mustache. And Uncharted 2 was fine. It was an okay game. Then I played Uncharted 3.
I heard that was kind of a disappointment. Maybe a little bit of a stinker.
My favorite one of the series.
Really?
Ooh. Uncharted 3 like delved into kind of spiritual, like trippy, hallucinogenic stuff. And it was set in more like desert, Middle Eastern environments, which I really like. The thing about these games is I don't know if either of you are like history buffs or like myths and legends of like ancient cities and stuff. But even if you don't like the characters,
I really like history, but I like 20th century and 19th century history.
well, each of these games plays with history a little bit. Like Nathan Drake is, the descendant of Sir Francis Drake, and he's trying to find his treasure. And the second one, it's such and such lost city. And then the third one, such and such lost city in the Middle East.
Aren't you looking for Shangri-La in
the second one.
Yeah.
And you find it.
Right, of course.
Spoiler.
It's like finding
And
Atlantis.
the third one, it's Iram.
Or what's a golden city or something?
El Dorado.
Yeah.
And then in the third one, it's Iram of the Pillars, this ancient lost Middle Eastern city. And I really liked that game. I liked the villains in that game a lot. I thought the gameplay was improved massively, and it was just really good. I really liked the third game. Fourth one wasn't as good story-wise, but the mechanics of that game, the combat, and like a stealth system that's better than The Last of Us, actually. An optional stealth system, kind of like The Last of Us. Much better. And it came after The Last of Us, so that makes sense that it would kind of influence it. That game was really tight, and it was a good conclusion to the series. And the character of, Sam Drake, Nathan Drake's brother, who suddenly appears out of nowhere, was pretty good, and they had a good relationship. And it just ended well. And it featured things like you can play Crash Bandicoot within the game.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's a lot of neat tricks. But overall, I say the series is good and deserves to exist. It's like a blockbuster popcorn
I like how that's
movie.
your stamp of a... Guardians of the Galaxy deserves to exist. Uncharted deserves
Definitely
to
in the
exist.
same vein. I enjoyed my time with the latter three of those games. That's all I'm saying. I played them all the way. You were surprised
Yeah, I'm amazed
that I
stuck
really
with it.
drilled at it. And it's funny because Naughty Dog made The Last of Us.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? It's the same people.
I didn't care about The Last of Us when they announced it because I knew they made Uncharted 2 and 3.
Oh, man.
I just didn't care. Like, I don't like those... I don't like the shooters that they've made or that kind of game, the third-person adventure game.
Yeah.
So it took some convincing.
I'll get to The Last of Us, but I beat a game called Grand Theft Auto 5 after a long time. A very long time. I beat it on Xbox.
Man, I like the Grand Theft Auto. I like every Grand Theft Auto. But that's just because, I grew up playing Grand Theft Auto.
I beat San Andreas and this one, that's it.
Man, I've been playing GTA since GTA 2.
You beat San Andreas? Oh, man.
I remember playing GTA 2.
On PS2.
I remember playing GTA 2 and then going fucking crazy when GTA 3 came out.
Vice
I was
City.
just like, no, 3. And then Vice City came out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then San Andreas. And then 5. And I remember when Chris got 5. 4. And I remember when Chris got 5. It blew my fucking mind how incredible it looked.
That game still looks good.
That was on PS3.
And that game still plays
Oh my God,
good. Me and Chris
It does.
recently picked it up.
We've
again.
rediscovered it.
The online is so much fun.
I haven't gotten much into the online.
It's so much fun.
It is a shocking technical achievement, though.
Yeah.
Incredible. More character development than I could have expected.
Yeah.
If you played through San Andreas, you can play through 4. And in terms of 4, in terms of 4, in terms of story, 4
Title.
is really cool. Four is the themes in that are way more fun.
Yeah, 4 is definitely
Or not more fun, but more interesting.
Yeah, 4 is kind of the older brother of the series.
5 is still... People won't shut up about it.
Yep.
It is so many years into it.
I mean, what?
When did
It's
that
still
game
for
come
sale
out?
for $60.
Yeah, it's one of the few games like that because it's just so hot.
And that's what's nice about it is if you've bought it, you've gotten so much free DLC.
Yep.
And that's
played it anyway, I don't think.
take a fucking note, developers. Free DLC is the way to go if you want to keep selling your game. That's the way you want to go because man,
That's how Halo 5 is.
yeah,
All the maps, everything.
that's incredible.
It's big.
Developers need to do shit like that. I don't like buying a game and then 6 months later, oh, here's this thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, I don't like feeling like I've been sold a non-finished game.
Oh, welcome to this generation of gaming, or even the last.
We were talking about that earlier.
And I think the biggest like people who do that is EA with their fucking Battlefront.
EA's
with
brutal.
their like, oh my god, like.
We were saying earlier how we're surprised that video games haven't increased to $100, but they really have with the season pass.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like it's
$60 base, and then you pay $40 to $50 for the season pass.
Yep. And that sucks. Like, I don't pay. You know what? I don't pay $10 to watch half a movie. You know. Like I don't pay $15 to watch most of the movie and then pay another $5. I don't pay another $5 to watch the secret ending.
It's a business,
the real ending. Like that's
it's just how things are.
There's just something wrong about that to me. Like
games have changed.
I would much prefer them tell me, "Hey, here's all of the game."
They've adapted to the current climate. That's just how it is.
But like I feel like there's something wrong with them selling it at $60 and selling an incomplete game because, and I'll use this as an example.
Also, Andromeda.
Yeah, like I'll use this as an example. Hitman did it right. For $20, you can buy the first mission. You want to keep playing it, pay $15 each time. It ends up being more than the $60 you would pay, but it's worth it if you like it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And they give you a lot to play with if you buy each iteration.
Exactly.
And I don't feel like I'm getting, fucked over with my money if I spend $60.
I still need to play that game more.
Hitman is awesome.
We had so much fun playing that game.
Hitman is awesome, and I can't wait for the second season.
I've done the first episode on Xbox. That's it.
It's good. You should play all of it.
I know. I want to buy the full package. They just released it.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Physically?
Yeah. $60.
Oh, cool. That game was a lot of fun.
I think that's a good deal,
And then like the fucking the special targets, what are they called? The elusive target.
Target.
That is so cool. You get one shot, you fuck it up, you can't play it anymore.
I like that.
That's awesome.
I like that a lot.
That's so cool.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
Leads to a lot of high tense situations.
That's good.
That's what's fun about that game.
But we're getting way out of hand here. I want to raise just a few criticisms about GTA 5.
Sure.
I don't like Trevor. I want to throw that out there.
I don't like that unhinged, crazy dude. He's the Rick of GTA.
Look, if I was 17, I would love Trevor.
Trevor deserves to exist. I know.
But like when we both played it again as 20 or 21-year-old people, Trevor's annoying.
They're all foils of each other.
And
that's the purpose he serves.
I really like Franklin a lot.
Franklin's good.
Yeah. I love Franklin.
Michael's great.
Michael is such a Tony Soprano character.
I know, that's why we love it. We love it. That's why it hits so close to home. But just about the game, mechanics wise,
I have one major issue about that game.
Planes.
No.
Really?
No, planes are fine.
Planes are bullshit.
No, I think they're fine.
Absolute bullshit.
My biggest issue with that game is the sound design for the guns.
You're always about gun sound design. You're always about the fucking
I said it about
gun.
Gears of War.
And it drives me crazy. Yes. It's fine.
No, it's not. It's so weak.
Guns in real life are not supposed to be like from a third person perspective. It's explosive, crazy.
If you're standing 10 feet behind a gun and you don't have earplugs in, you're gonna have some trouble.
It's a video game.
There's no impact. Is my point.
It's fine.
Like Red Dead did it so well.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Every time you shot a gun in Red Dead, you felt like you were. There was something happening. GTA feels like you're shooting a Nerf gun.
I completely agree with that because
GTA 5's guns feel bad.
I remember in high school, looking up because I had been used to playing some Call of Duty. I remember looking up Battlefield 3 versus Call of Duty sound effects for guns. God. Battlefield 3 had some incredible gun sound effects. It sounded like you were fucking nailing something. It sounded awesome. That sold me on the game. Yeah. Seriously, because I liked playing PC games with headphones on.
Right.
And hearing something like as impactful as
It's really
a
the
gun.
best way to appreciate the sound design.
It doesn't sound like you're hammering something. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, man.
It sounds explosive.
As I said before, though, the plane flight controls to me are so flawed and so rinky-dink, what the fuck, unresponsive,
passable.
difficult. Vehicle controls are fair. not great. Still very overly weighted. I feel like
GTA 4 is
Really?
terrible.
No.
too
I think-
physicky.
I think GTA 5 did a better job with driving control.
GTA 4 is
But
an
GTA 4
atrocity.
But I think GTA 4 did more realistic driving control.
It's so bad.
Because cars feel heavy and impact feels heavy.
I had an issue with GTA 5 because, like, as I just want to cruise along, even using Franklin's, like, slow down driving speed, just dumb shit would happen. And I feel like it wasn't that much of a user error. And I got really frustrated with that, but nothing more than the fucking plane controls.
Did you like the story of GTA 5?
I did. I don't think it ended particularly well.
I felt like the story wasn't really there other than to string along a
It
game.
was fine. I like the character development of Michael a lot.
I like his parts.
His
Yeah.
family stuff was pretty cool.
But, like, I could have used a lot more missions of Franklin just dealing with his
Yeah,
like,
me
hoodlum
too.
friends.
him
Yeah,
and
me too.
Lamar.
Like, they only did, like, 3 missions, and then all of a sudden he's stealing cars off of a fucking boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
okay, like Franklin's thing. He was like a car repo man. 2 missions in, and then he has a mansion.
Yeah,
and then
it's like, whoa.
after that, it's just like he's doing these high level things. I liked the sort of grind feel of like San Andreas. It's just like I live on Grove Street.
And GTA 4
That
also,
shit's
like,
hard.
like in the 4th mission, it's like the 4th mission where you finally, like, kill someone.
Yeah.
And, it's more impactful. And then, like, once you rob a bank, you're, like, 3/4 of the way through the game. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
A few minor things I was extremely fond of. And
But GTA 5 is supposed to be kind of a lampoon of LA culture.
Yeah.
So,
I really like the TV stations
oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
it. The
Did you watch
package
Republican Space Rangers?
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched some of the like anime parody stuff,
Yeah,
which is
that's
very
pretty good.
very funny. I love when Michael's son slips him the whatchamacallit in his drink, and he has a trip.
When he falls.
Oh yeah.
I think that was a highlight of the
Yeah.
game overall, and he kind of has an existential crisis.
Thing
about
where
how to
he like
reunite the family.
skydives.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was really
Yeah.
innovative and great. I'm not so sure about some of the like experimental marijuana sequences where you're shooting like things you're not
Aliens
seeing.
and shit.
Some of that stuff
Yeah.
was kind of bad. But I mean, overall, it was a really fun game.
I think to anybody who's not in a big city, that stuff is like, oh, marijuana, you know what I mean? But like, if you live in a big city or you know about weed and stuff like that, you know it's not like that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I think as an overall, especially because considering GTA or like Rockstar in particular is going to be selling to a worldwide market, they got to sell this idea of, whoa, super strong weed? Yeah, you'll see
Yeah.
aliens, you want to shoot them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I'm sure Rockstar knows that it's not like that, but
Anyway, I mean, I enjoyed
that's such a minor point.
And in the end, I saved everyone. I didn't choose to kill
Me too.
anyone, even though Trevor kind of sucked. And the ending to me was just kind of like, all right, it's over.
Yeah.
It ended. Yeah, all right, that kind of tied it up, but it wasn't like, wow.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, cool, I have a lot of money now. Let me
Oh,
just
it's
fix
over.
up cars
Okay.
and shoot shit.
Actually, one of the things I liked, the only things I liked about Trevor was his like weird love, like interest or whatever with that old woman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was
Madrazo's
really
wife.
weird
Yeah.
and interesting. I thought that was interesting, and I wanted to see that go somewhere. 'Cause that could have been really weird and
Yeah.
cool, and fit his character,
Yeah.
and it added a little depth to it.
I as much as I didn't like Trevor because he's kind of like this. Oh, I'm so weird and edgy. I like his I'm a failed like Air Force pilot.
Yeah,
I like that to a certain extent. It's just like I'm a talented guy, but I fucked up somewhere, but I still got that edge. I still got that talent. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I like that to a certain extent, but. It was some of the tropes that he falls into. It's just like, I'm weird and edgy.
whoa,
Yeah. Can you believe what this
I'm
happened?
so crazy.
I stomped out the main character of GTA 4's Lost and Damned story.
Yes, as I read about. Really, that's all I had to say about GTA 5. And I need to try to wrap up this game segment, but I mean, this was a big built-up one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the next one's going to be huge.
Yeah, Titanfall 2.
Are we talking about Titanfall 2 also?
I played Titanfall 2 and beat it and I'm not going to say much about it. It's a really fun shooter.
From what I've played, it's fun.
Call of Duty, but not like obnoxious or
God,
anywhere near.
Fucking damn it!
Anywhere near as obnoxious. And the controls are fantastic, and really kind of streamlined a lot of what Call of Duty pitched for just moving around.
Yeah.
Anyway, next to last. What is it, Chris?
I don't know
Tell us,
what.
Chris.
We got 2 scary games left. What do you think it is?
Resident Evil.
Yes.
That game is cool.
Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Slender Man with guns.
Oh,
I know it's been a while.
we've never even addressed the Four Loko challenge.
Oh, no, we're going to get into that, but just talk about this game and your experiences. How you got it. How did you end up in your hands? What are your prior feelings on Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Compare and contrast.
I have never cared about Resident Evil at all.
Me either.
I think for the most part, it's been kitschy. I don't like zombies.
It's just been like generic horror.
Yeah,
to me.
not even horror though. It's like anime action zombie or something like. But in the wake of PT's cancellation
Oh, man.
and
What a
Resident Evil
tragedy.
7's announcement, it was definitely seeking to fill that void.
Were you looking at it as the development footage released, or was it me?
RE7?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't care about it.
Okay.
Why?
No, I followed it from the beginning and just realized, wait a minute, this is something different.
I just remember it got demoed at E3 one year, and it was on VR, and everybody said it was like making them sick. I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to be a disaster.
A lot of VR games, regardless of horror, are going to be like that for a long time.
And they just had a really simple demo, and I thought they were blatantly just trying to take off on PT.
Yeah.
I
feel you.
So I had no interest in it until you had recommended it.
So,
What?
tell me about it.
What?
Resident Evil 7.
I liked it.
What did you expect? What did you get?
Uh,
How did you feel playing it?
I didn't expect for it to... I really thought the whole game was going to take place in the mansion. Because people were saying it was a throwback.
Yeah.
It was.
It is. But there are definitely a lot stronger parts in that game that don't persist throughout.
Yeah.
The part in the mansion and the
Just the
guest
house,
house,
the internal shots.
that's the best part.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about the way
Because
it unfolded,
you're
though?
avoiding a nemesis the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
You're being chased indefinitely. Like you can't kill the guy.
Yeah, and I think like at times where you're doing puzzles and stuff like that, you for a moment forget that that's happening, and then
Yes,
he
and they'll
pops
show
out of
up.
fucking nowhere, and it's. I think that level of like of stress and that level of like, oh
They
my
want-
god, I forgot that's really neat.
They want you to get comfortable.
Yeah,
Did you get scared at any point or just stressed out?
You scared, yeah.
I think some of
Some
it
of it's
some of
scary.
it's pretty scary.
Some of it's just like really unsettling.
The only parts that I really got mad at were the fighting the molded. They were just annoying.
Yeah.
And a waste of ammo.
But I mean, that's the point. It's survival horror. You're supposed to be able to budget your stuff.
But I remember at one point, and I remember me and Chris, like, there's one part in the basement where me and Chris could not get through it because we kept wasting our ammo. And, like, we could not get through it.
was it that boiler-looking room?
Yes,
Yeah, that's
it
a
was-
bad spot.
It was that one. And
that
it's
spot
just...
sucks.
And it was just, we were just like, we try to keep running through it, but we keep dying. But if we try fighting them, we have no ammo.
We don't have
left.
enough bullets, yeah.
And, like, I
What
think...
you have to do is basically just run through there and try to just bolt for the door when you have the key.
But that's the thing, like...
We didn't have the key at the
We
time.
didn't have the key,
Oh.
and so we didn't know we had to have the key until we ran through it. You know what I mean? Like,
And you get there and like, oh fuck!
yeah,
No!
yeah. So I think they could have handled that part a tiny bit better, but I still think overall,
It's a difficult game at
yeah.
points. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, but, like,
Overall, though, I was very happy with
I was
it.
pleasant.
So you guys kind of played it together.
yeah.
I told you to play it solo.
I was
Personal journey.
I was pleasantly surprised because a little part of me going into it was like, oh god, a PT knockoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was scared was
Just
going
in
to
a
be.
game with long, narrow hallways and things coming at you, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like I don't like to have that in the back of my mind, but it was still there. It was present. But I think some of the puzzles were really clever. Like, especially the shadow puzzles.
Oh, I love those. Those are so neat.
I thought those were really neat and clever. And I just think, like, the whole, like, whenever, like, spoiler alert, whenever you find out that, like, you know, the dad is also kind of a victim of this,
that part's cool.
disease. I think
that sit down
when you
in
find
that vision,
the humanization of the character that's been haunting you.
That this thing that is so, you think it's so horrible and evil and reprehensible, and then suddenly it's like, oh,
it's
fuck.
human, it's real.
Fuck.
It's cool.
And he tells you to free his family.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry.
That was an awesome turning point.
Yeah. And I think, like, when it gets to the part with the tanker, I think it's really cool.
I think that's the weakest part.
That's the worst part of the game.
You think so?
Yes.
Tanker's bad.
I think they could have.
I think it's just so boring and
it's
drab.
really boring and like tedious.
I think they could have handled that better, but I do like the aspect of there's an explanation for why this shit is fucked up, and it's
in a very Resident Evil kind of way.
It's because of this fucking tanker that crashed, and now I'm reliving the memories. Like,
I just don't find Mia believable as like some special agent.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Because she was like the femme fatale throughout.
Yeah.
And even in those parts, she was the femme fatale.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction to seeing her again and her being the way she was and being like a grudge monster at first and coming up the steps at you and fucking cutting off your hand and all that?
I just assumed
did
that
you
was...
expect that kind of thing to happen?
Kind of. I kind of
your
just...
fucking hand just gone?
Yeah.
I kind of expected that just to be the jumping off point and a reason for Ethan to invest himself. But like once Mia's fine, it's like just go.
Yeah. It felt like it should have been the ending, and while they didn't handle the tanker part perfectly.
No.
It still should not.
It did not.
I don't know. Like,
there's so many plot holes.
Like, I felt
game.
like the way Mia shifted back and forth between like quotes infected and not infected didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot.
Like, whereas
of
all the other characters were like definitely
them.
Well, in the very end of the game, when you're dealing with Evelyn. She tries to guide you through when she was infecting Mia and the specific points. And I feel like that was their explanation for it. Mm-hmm. And it may not make it stick and gel necessarily, but it strings it together for the most part.
Yeah.
In the game's own sort of unique
I didn't have a lot of big hang-ups about it, but yeah.
There's just so many plot holes.
Yeah,
it's bad about that.
Like, the thing that I took away from the game was... It was a lot more enjoyable than I thought it would be.
My thing about it is a unique experience.
Yeah.
Like, not everything makes sense. I feel like they had a lot of images in mind and themes, but they couldn't tie it all together. Like, they had, it's difficult because the Bakers are so all over the place. Mm-hmm. And... okay, now they're cannibals. Okay, now they're zombies. Okay, now they're the undead. Or it's just, there's just a lot of. I feel like they had a vision for it. Mm-hmm. Of okay, big scene here, big scene here, big scene here. How do we kind of tie this all together? Like, you've got to get between these points, and they didn't necessarily make a lot of that make sense.
Yeah.
But there's some moments in it that are so striking.
Yeah.
I mean, early in the game, when you're wandering around outside and you just see Jack just walking for a brief second, there's something so effective about that. But then, I see a lot of
That's where it got lost to me, is like, when you're in the mansion in the guest house, that's like... If you were to show someone that game, be like, oh, this game's scary, because it's like one guy and he's just really powerful and you never know when he's coming.
Yeah.
If someone jumps in and you're in the tanker or the salt mines, all they're going to think is this is like a mediocre, maybe even less than that first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. That's where it lost its magic to me. But
I feel like
but those first initial parts were so strong, it made it count.
I think... One of the most effective points in the early game, and I talked about it in the, my playthrough of it all that's on the channel, when you go into the garage for the first time.
And the cop.
That game has an incredible way of draining you of all light and vividness, but when it wants to do that, it slaps you so hard, it just takes you back. Like the cop car lights flashing and the guy bent down on the ground. It's like, whoa, this is like a fucking movie. This is iconic looking. And that whole sequence is fucking incredible.
Yeah.
What happened to you guys in the garage? Did you get in the car or did Jack get in the car?
We got in it.
And
he like steered us into that beam.
Yeah.
I talked about, I think it is so much better if he gets into the car.
I thought you just lost if that happened because he killed us once.
You don't, but it's much more terrifying because you were literally trapped within this hyper confined space, and this man is fucking circling around, like dragging the car. It is just so terrifying and fucked up.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me the first time, and I didn't know that there are different outcomes.
I didn't either. I thought you had to get in the car.
Well, I think it's so cool. Like, just literally, this maniac is in a car and he's coming at you.
Yeah,
it's like, holy fuck. And I don't know. There's so many good moments in that game. What did you guys think about Marguerite and her final conclusion?
Oh God,
she was tough.
I think that's the most upsetting part of the game.
And
it's rough.
I like there's something about true horror, like this sort of like unhinged, disgusting horror. That's so cool to me. Like,
see, I am not prone to that as much. Like, I just think kind of is like gross, whatever. I think Jack is so much more interesting.
Jack's an incredible character.
Yeah,
like he's a human. Basically, ostensibly, when you see
his personality is still there.
He's a human with an axe, and he follows you. He's like, Ethan, boy, you better get back here.
Yeah,
and it's like
exactly.
That's so like
there's something.
It's real.
It's terrifying
it's like a
about
fucked up human being.
Yeah,
yeah,
you could place yourself in that situation, whereas like I can't place myself in a situation with a bug woman.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah. But like, if it comes to like something like a horror game, I definitely appreciate something like that because
I not to say that Marguerite's part was bad, but Jack's is the best, Marguerite's is good, and then the other stuff.
Lucas is kind of sucked.
I wish they would get into Lucas more because like
I do in the DLC, but it doesn't go anywhere.
I like the idea of like a savant kid.
He was like basically Jigsaw.
Yeah. And that endures into the DLC.
I like Lucas's backstory. Like particularly when he was a kid, he was a super achieved kid. He was super smart.
But he was a bad seed.
Yeah, like it's
that's
just
how they described him.
Yeah, and like I don't know, like getting back to Margaret, but like I like the idea of something just disgusting and something like if it's true horror, it's unhinged horror. It's like there's bugs. This lady is this kind of like
there's a body horror element to
it.
And that's what was really visceral.
She's kind of like the Thing.
And it's not only gross to be around, it's gross to look at. You know what I mean?
Extremely stressful.
Yeah.
Like that fight is agonizing.
Like the whole 3-story thing where she's like popping out of corners and shit.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like that is one of the most stressful things in that game. And it's easily the most upsetting, like visually.
Have you seen Black Mirror?
No.
Oh man.
But I'm aware of Black Mirror.
Man, like
ooh,
that counts.
We should watch an episode or two of that.
I think we should.
We got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I think for a long time.
I think we should watch. There's one episode in particular about.
It's about VR.
VR.
Oh.
I think you would really like. If you liked this game, I think you would like that episode.
Yeah, I want to check it out.
Absolutely.
But, just to get back to the game and to conclude it, a lot of people talk about, like, it's just, so much of it is, if you can just look past, like, I hate to say this because I'm a story guy. I think
Me too.
That should be the thing, but...
That's why I play Rocket League.
Exactly. This game...
No, I do like stories of games.
...is an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Even if a lot of it doesn't make sense, and there's gaping what the fuck plot holes. Okay, this doesn't go here. No, this doesn't make sense.
You're still sticking with certain themes and characters throughout,
It
which
is
make it rewarding
just-
at the end.
Yeah.
The themes and the overall feel of it
Right.
are so wretchedly horrifying and just bleak. And
Come back to that
disgusting.
Southern Gothic topic.
The Southern guy, and like, like I tried to pitch it to you. Hey, True Detective season 1 vibes. That was a big part of it in the beginning. I feel like those aerial shots.
Yeah.
Like it looked
without a doubt.
identical.
Without a doubt.
This sort of like backwoods horror
And
thing.
the thing you have to understand about the Resident Evil series is this is a dramatic departure.
Yes,
Even though it's a throwback to the confines of the first game's house.
It's very toned down.
They really looked at other types of horror and settings.
They
And-
looked into characters.
Yes. And
Because except for the molded, I think every other character is either an ally or an enemy.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, those are the two things, but there's no brainless zombies besides the molded, and they're not even that
They
prevalent.
serve a purpose.
Yeah,
That's it.
Sort of.
I hate those fucking crawling ones.
I think
Those
the
things are
molded
the
could have
worst.
been taken out all the way, and it
I've
would have been
heard
pretty
this.
good.
I've heard this.
I don't think they need to be there.
They add a layer of difficulty that otherwise would be a game you could just run the fuck through. I
But
feel
but do you
like-
think they could plug in more of the family in where
I
the molded
don't
was?
think it needs more.
What makes them so effective
I think the
is
gameplay.
the sparseness
the-
of those
I think the
characters.
gameplay. The
Yeah.
gameplay itself is the weakest part.
I think
think-
the gameplay is tight enough.
Well, okay, gameplay as in shooting, like like the exploration.
the finding things Mexican together.
That's the best part of the game. When I'm having to shoot at things with the shoddy aiming system, that's when the game is not fun.
It's supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be like quivering and you can't aim. And
I will argue against
he's not
that.
talking about the mechanics of the shooting.
I argue
He's
against
talking,
that.
He's talking about the stuff that might seem filler.
it's-
because it does feel a little bit filler with some of those things.
There's plenty of that.
And of course,
There-
it's unfair to judge it on that because
There,
to say it's not a perfect horror game, it's unfair.
we can.
You know what
I
I mean?
can
It's
type.
hugely imperfect.
I can
Yeah,
tie this
yeah,
back into
absolutely.
Uncharted. That whole series, you kill a lot of people in those games.
Yeah.
Resident Evil, you don't. There's really no narrative purpose to that,
Yeah, to kill
other than to add gameplay elements to the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
That's necessary though.
I don't
They
think
could
it
have come up
is.
with a better explanation for it that
I don't
may
think
have
it's necessary.
swayed us. But that's what makes it a Resident Evil game.
But
the looming creature coming at you and it won't stop as you shoot it, that's Resident Evil.
I guess
That is Resident Evil on a fucking platter. That's what those games feel like. Like, you can't stop them even though they're shooting them multiple times and they just keep coming and they're in your face.
so. Okay,
That's Resident Evil.
here's an idea: take the molded out, rebrand it, release it again.
As what?
It's just something else.
Yeah.
So where it's not, it doesn't have
It
to
can't be more family members.
No. Leave
That
the
would
game.
take away from why
Leave the
they're
game as it is. Don't add the molded.
It'd be so short. It's a
I don't
short
think
game
the
as it
molded
is.
added that much time.
They slow you the fuck down.
Right,
Yeah,
that's
but-
all they
but-
do.
But that's the thing. Is that a game element or is that like
That's
making
filler.
Fleshes the
or is that
game.
filler?
It's filler, but it fleshes the game out and makes it feel like there's more to it.
Yeah,
In a way that otherwise
I know
you
what
could-
you're saying.
You could just run the fuck through it.
I know what you're saying.
It's like if you
There'd
say
be no horror.
It's like if you say,
Exploring.
okay, take Dark Souls and just leave the bosses.
You know what I mean? But the thing is,
You just run the fuck through it.
there's no advantage to beating those enemies in Dark Souls.
You
when
level up.
you
and
level up and
learn
shit
how
like
the
that.
mechanics work. But it's a similar idea. You get what I'm saying?
But no, because
I
like,
could.
God
because
damn it.
because the small enemies in Dark Souls are about you learning the game. They're about you learning the mechanics.
Okay.
The only thing those things are good for in Resident
Is wasting
Evil
bullets.
Is wasting bullets and making you not run through it.
In the beginning, they were stressful to me. And I felt like as I pushed through it, oh God, if I go down this, I am fucking scared. Not just of the family members, but from the moment I encountered those things, oh God, what the fuck is gonna be? I know this shit's gonna be here. When's it gonna happen? Mm-hmm. And I think that's a necessary part of a horror game like this.
That's the only reason I can think of keeping them in. Is
they need to give you enough of those experiences.
The in-between.
Oh, fuck!
The
like,
in-between.
oh, no, God, horrible.
The in-between,
you know?
the in-between the boss fights, like, yeah, you have to be on edge. Because
Like,
without them, there would be like, okay.
because they fuck you up. They're disturbing. The way they move and the way they lunge in particular is really upsetting, even when you get used to it. It's like you never really get used to it.
I could go back and forth on that.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, I keep saying it deserves to exist.
Like ultimately,
Absolutely, I think it's more than that.
Yeah, like ultimately, I'm not that offended by.
They're like speed bumps.
Yeah, like ultimately, I'm not that offended by those creatures. They're grunts. You know what I mean? Like to me, personally, they're grunts in the game. They are those skeletons in Dark Souls, but they don't add anything for it to me. And I think if they took another year to make this game personally, they could have made either the story longer or added something else that's some sort of like slowdown type. I don't know.
Okay,
like,
but would you rather have a whole game of the molded? That's
No.
what Resident Evil has been.
I wouldn't play
That's
that.
what Resident
That's
Evil
what
has
Resident Evil
been.
is.
Mow that down for a whole game.
Yeah.
Occasional crazy boss. This shit, it is startling that Capcom released this game. It doesn't make sense that at this point they realized we have to do something a little different. Mm-hmm. We have to take a fucking chance.
Yeah.
We have to.
And
they for more or less did.
And I think they executed incredibly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think...
all things considered.
I'm not really so much complaining as I am saying, like...
Yeah, I'm just saying...
It was a weird part of the game that didn't feel necessary.
Yeah. And
it's not a perfect game.
No.
And I don't expect it to be. But
I think you're underselling it when you say it deserves to exist.
I mean, I didn't enjoy those encounters either. I feel they're irritating after a certain point.
Even a technical showcase, that game looks awesome.
Yeah.
It's 23 gigs.
Which is incredible for its size.
I feel like if it was a brighter game, we'd see the real like technical limitations of a game that small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is for a game that small, it's whoa. Yeah. This game looks great.
Yeah.
But like that's
incredible.
Importantly, that's a very entertaining piece of media.
Final boss.
Yeah.
Very weak.
Yeah.
Very weak.
Barely even a boss.
Shoot at
More just like a...
It tied it all.
I'm sorry, but it felt like a quick time event. Like,
yeah.
It was.
It basically was. Even though I struggled with it in my fucking playthrough because
I didn't even know you could die.
Yeah, it's just... But yeah, about my playthrough, the whole... the 4 Loco challenge. What do we have to say about that, Chris?
You can lead this discussion. That's fine.
I think you lost, and you've been put in a pit for that.
How long did it take you to figure it out?
To figure what out?
Figure what out?
Game.
What?
Not much time at all.
You have 2 heads working together.
Oh, are you salty about that? You think we should chug a half 4 Loco? You think, man?
I more or less subjected myself for this for content.
Statute of limitations. It's been a month.
No.
It's been.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying for the sport of the game.
Fair.
You want to fucking do this again?
No. Dark Souls off. No.
Do we want to get into the video? Like, let's look into the video where you challenge Chris, and let's talk about.
I didn't use gods. I wasn't Russia.
In the next podcast we record, we would have watched the video again where you challenged Chris, and we're gonna look into the semantics of it because you didn't just challenge Chris. There's nothing saying in there that I couldn't play with him.
I didn't know you were playing him. See, it was a great deal.
You think I was just gonna sit in my room and just be like, "Oh, Chris is playing this scary game"?
I thought you could fuck your girlfriend or something.
Just actively the whole time.
Every time Chris is playing Resident Evil, it's fuck time.
Just fucking video games.
Come here. He's playing that game again. You know what this means. I want to hear those screeches from the main room.
Oh my god, no.
I had to go there. But look, I talked about this in the video. I loaned this game first to a coworker at work. For some fucking reason, he played it on his roommate's profile. I got pissed. Then I fucking mailed it all the way over here to Chris. He did the same fucking thing. And I'm like, oh, my game's not good enough. My game's not fucking good enough.
You know what you're getting into.
I don't know what I'm getting into. I was pissed. Yeah. What is this completion shit? Who do you think you're trying to? What are you trying to prove with your trophy collection? Who's looking at that and getting all impressed, Chris?
I don't know.
You get over yourself. Who do you think you are? This PlayStation wizard. I am the achievement master. I cannot have a game that I cannot fully complete.
I'm the platinum wizard.
I'm the Bloodborne wizard. How's that going?
How many platinums do you have?
Shut up! I'm talking about Bloodborne.
You know how many platinums I have? 1.
Oh!
No. Need for Speed, and I just got it yesterday.
Is there one trophy?
No. There's a fuck ton of and I got them. Because I played the shit out of that game. But I got one trophy which is like, drive with a fully tuned car. Which I didn't do in the whole game. I was just like, oh, better go get that. And I got it.
We need to wrap this up.
But yeah, good fucking game. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's an experience.
I will admit I mainly did the whole challenges. What the fuck else were we gonna put up? You know, I'm obsessed with like the Tim and Eric like immediate competition factor.
I know.
Like they're friends, and then suddenly out of nowhere, there's just this like this harrowing. Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, this sort of like who's the handsomest man?
We are at each other's throats and killing each other. You know, like why is this going on? Like, Tim, that's not your dad.
I was very surprised you didn't get the top 10 reasons the Beatles suck joke within my video.
I hadn't seen that in years. How am I supposed to know if some obscure Rocco Poti video I watched like once?
I don't know. I just assumed you would recognize it.
You did do a good job with that, though. And for future reference, I'm a huge fan of T-poses.
T-poses are the best.
Thank you, Mass Effect Andromeda. All right, we're gonna conclude it. The Resident Evil 7 4 Loco Challenge fiasco is over and done with and smoothed over. No more talk. We're moving on to a new glorious day. Resident Evil. Last of Us 7 or Last of Us
7. Jesus,
it'll happen.
This is Ellie's great grandchild.
Ooh. Last of Us.
That's it.
It's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
It is a good game.
I went into it with very high expectations.
Oh, we're talking about the game?
Yes. I finally dragged myself through it. It is nothing like a Naughty Dog game. I mean, it is. It's a third-person duck and cover kind of situation, you know, characters.
Yeah.
But all I ever heard was that it was like the most emotional, in-depth experience you will ever have with a video game.
Yeah, I don't know about
and
that.
It's not a zombie game. It's just, it's...
But I agree with that.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Like, people went up shut about, you will cry so much. That's all you'll do. It's the most sad, tear-jerking game of all.
I will agree with the whole "it's not about zombies" thing. I think.
Well, no, it's not.
I think if any that
it's a vehicle.
That is the best handling of a zombie type creature in a game ever.
I will admit.
In media.
Maybe in media.
Maybe.
It's so refreshing that zombies are not really an afterthought, but they're kind of like this. They're not the focus. You know what I mean?
Either of you seen Pontypool?
No.
What's that movie? Anyway, just on that subject, good zombie stuff. Continue. Sorry.
That's really all I had to say about it. It's just it doesn't handle zombies in a way that everything else seems to handle them. They're not the front and center issue. It's the interpersonal stuff that gets to me, and it did it really well.
I have a few issues with it. Technically speaking, the cover was irritating.
I liked that. I liked the passive cover.
Kind of irritating at points. The AI was pretty good. I like the AI a good bit. The friendly AI. Her not being able to swim was bullshit.
That was dumb.
Any fucking moron can dog paddle across like a 6-foot gap.
Not me. I would die.
Swimming is so easy. It's like intuitive.
I would die. My dad never threw me in a deep end of the pool. Like, okay, boy, swim.
Just think about it and how the shape of your body is. It's just,
No, I can't. I will drown.
Well, it's so easy. I didn't even take swimming lessons. My grandpa was just like, "Hey, you stupid fuck, get in this pool." And they taught me about it.
My dad never did that.
Hey, it's not that big a deal. If you're ever on a cruise liner and that shit goes down, I'll be ready. Or you'll be ready.
I will not.
I'll be ready.
You're gonna swim all the way from
that shit. I mean, seriously,
it's a totally arbitrary
there'd be like
game mechanic.
6 foot vaguely shallow depths. And it was like, God, I gotta go get this fucking platform.
Yeah.
Gotta wheel her ass around.
It's
Fuck
like,
this.
Ellie, wait here.
And like, other than that, also fucking clickers. That's bullshit. You ought to be able to not like one hit kill if they get to you.
Yeah,
they can't see.
Well, if you upgrade your shiv.
But you shouldn't. There should be something you can do to stop them, like the friendly AI can. The friendly AI will be covered in like clickers and just like, and it's like.
Did you upgrade your shiv?
Quit talking about shivs. I should be able to punch the fuck out of one of these things in the gut or kick them off.
Yeah, but if they attack you and you've upgraded that, you can defend yourself.
What does that have to do with a fucking shiv?
Everything.
It's just your ability.
Well, I just found that to be bullshit. Like, I get it. They can't see. That's my massive tactical advantage. That's huge. But, like, I was just so irritated by every time one of those fuckers was in there. I was like, oh, god damn it. Gotta fucking creep around like an idiot. Because if they get to me, I'm done. One hit kill.
Now, I'll say this about this. And like, what purpose besides the same purpose that the inflicted or whatever in Resident Evil played? I think that's the same mechanic that they fill.
You could defend yourself against those motherfuckers. If they hit you once, you weren't dead.
The same thing with the shiv. If you upgraded your shiv, you could defend yourself.
I don't want to hear about this shiv anymore. I should have to upgrade the shiv.
You didn't play the game correctly then.
And look, I upgraded some shit. All I cared about was making med kits.
You need to upgrade your shiv.
Yeah, a fourth.
I beat it.
A fourth of the game.
I don't know.
A fourth of the game.
I got the achievement.
A good portion of the game is finding materials and using them to your advantage.
All I cared about
Which clearly you didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck you. All I cared about was the med kit. God damn it. That's all. That was the bottom line.
Did you use trip mines?
No.
Then exactly.
I didn't know about that.
You fucking throw those like grenade thingies and they just sit there until somebody walks near them.
I threw some bottles and some bricks. I hit them in the head a few times too, and they got stunned. Anyway, shivs aside. The characters.
I think like I thought that game's ending was like really mature for a video game.
Yeah.
I felt that it didn't go out with a whimper, but it just like here's just the middle. And it was right here and it stopped.
No.
I like the ending.
I think
it's like I'm lying to you about the fireflies. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, that's so good.
That's like
I can't tell you goodbye.
That's like pretty brave for a mainstream release.
Yeah.
To leave characters hanging.
Yeah.
Like that.
I think there's something.
They knew there'd be a sequel. It's Naughty Dog.
But like the thing about it is though, I think there's something really like mature about.
It's so brave.
There's something mature about giving an adult character something as big of a weakness as this kind of like
this
last thing. My daughter died. I don't want to lose you too, so I'm gonna do anything it takes to keep you with me. And if that means that I'm gonna kill fucking innocent scientists to keep you alive?
I was a little irritated about the ending that like you finally get to the fireflies.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, they have to kill her. And it's like that's the only conclusion we can come to. They can't sample her DNA and leave her living.
It's a little bit of a Deus Ex.
And I was like, what? For a game this acclaimed, look, Resident Evil's one thing. But with this game, with the over 200 Game of the Year awards, it was like, okay, this has to be the most perfect, fantastic, great game ever conceived in the world. The cinematic storytelling masterpiece. And there's so many hang-ups. I'm like, wait, what? No. no, that's bullshit. Okay, I've met this character. He seems unique. I know he's going to die. Meet another one. When are they going to die? Like, chick in the beginning. Black dude and brother.
Henry and Sam.
I did not expect that.
And that's so funny. Like, I get it. That's all he was living for. But the moment that kid died, it's like, come on, man.
I don't know. I think at some point that was like, it was human.
It was. That's all he was living for. But without a moment's notice, oh, he's dead. And it's like, come on, man. Like, that they were good characters. They could have taken them forward. And I feel like they just went, we gotta deliver a gut punch.
I think
here.
that's a limitation of video games.
We gotta really, like, hit them. They gotta feel some shit. Kill this motherfucker.
I think that's a limitation of video games, and
I'm so frustrated about that suicide. That pissed me off.
The expectations of gameplay, because if it was a movie, you could have observed Henry, like, going through the grieving stages
yes,
for,
and
like,
then killing himself
for about 20 minutes. But, like, in Last of Us, what would you do? Watch a cutscene?
There were so many fucking long-ass cutscenes and them driving and shit. Come on.
Yeah.
This game, I'm basically saying, I was always told this game is perfect. Everything about it, one of the greatest games ever made.
Is that a fault of the game or of the hype, though?
Both. Mainly the hype.
Yeah, okay.
But
yeah.
I'm just saying, based from off my experience, from what I've heard and what everyone has maybe falsely reported, you get where I'm coming from at least.
I do get that.
I expected flawless.
I do expect that though. But are you gonna watch Rick and Morty and get everything you're looking for?
Why are we have to bring it back to Rick and Morty?
No, you're not.
Why are we bringing it
we
back
don't have
to
enough
Rick
time to
and
bring
Morty?
up that.
That's next podcast.
But what I'm trying to say is the hype adds an effect to something that you need to shut off to a certain extent. I didn't watch the show Breaking Bad for a long time because of the fucking hype. I hated the hype. I thought it was stupid. I couldn't get anywhere without looking at a shirt that said "I am Heisenberg" with that drawing of it.
You did.
I am Heisenberg.
You did wait a long time.
I waited a long fucking
really
time,
did.
and you know what? I waited till the hype died down. I shut off the hype. I shut off the hype completely.
It meant it, didn't
I
it?
watched the show and I fucking loved it.
That show's better than this, though. I mean, it's totally different.
Than the video game?
As a game.
Are you saying
It's
Breaking
so
Bad?
hard
Wait,
to judge it.
are you saying Breaking Bad is better than Last of Us?
Are you saying is Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad is a better TV show
Than Last
as
of
a
Us
TV show.
as a game?
Last of Us is as a game.
Yeah, I agree.
Easily.
Yeah.
Breaking Bad is near flawless. Like, there are some
There are
issues.
like 3 or 4 scenes where I would redo.
Walt White smoking weed. Set to reggae.
The twins walking away without looking at the explosion. Yes.
And a few Hank scenes. No.
They're
Everything
like-
with Hank reserved.
Yes. There are 4 or 5 scenes I would
Not
redo.
expending.
But look, you guys are taking it the wrong way. I still say The Last of Us is a really great game. Especially for when it came out.
Yeah.
Shockingly good. A fucking awesome game. Really great. But I expect it to be one of the greatest games I would ever play.
And that's what I'm having the issue with. It's your expectation of the game.
You have to take it from my perspective, man. I
And
listened
sure.
to this for so long.
And sure.
People losing their fucking shit.
And I agree with that.
You
but
get why I'm a little let down at least.
absolutely. But let's.
Okay, thank you.
I've never played the
There
game.
was no situation where you wouldn't be let down.
I have never played the game Ocarina of Time. If you think I played the game Ocarina of Time and it's not my
You wouldn't
favorite
like
game of all time,
You wouldn't like it.
don't you think that that's a little bit skewed? Because every second I hear something about Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time is the best game ever.
That game is 19 years old.
So
The Last of Us is nowhere near that.
people still jerk off about it every day.
That's different.
If you tried playing
That's
Ocarina
such
of Time for the first time,
separate time period.
Do you
if you
think so?
tried playing Ocarina
Yes.
of Time today, you wouldn't like it.
Do you
It's
think?
night and day.
But the thing is, like, one of the biggest complaints about Ocarina of Time right now is really like, oh, it's the mechanics of the game and the era of which it was released. I don't think that. I think these two things are the exact same thing. It's the hype behind it, this whole circle jerk thing about how great it is story-wise, conceptually. You know what I mean? It's a concept thing, and I don't think that the game, The Last of Us, should be regarded in like I don't know. I think whenever you're playing the game, you should take reviews of it like by a grain of salt because I think.
didn't listen to any reviews really. I just.
But the
heard
thing is,
people, man.
you said that you expected this to be the game, the one, like, based on what people said, you expected this to be one of the greatest games you've ever played. That is the exact same thing I would expect if I walked into Ocarina of Time right now. Because people still say that's one of the best games of all time.
Ocarina of Time is a nostalgia piece. That's a different thing. I feel like Last of Us is still so modern.
It's contemporary, yeah.
It's so contemporary. Ocarina of Time is a rustic game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also something that a lot of people play when they were children. The Last of Us, I don't think a lot of people play when they were children.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And so the perception is so massively changed. And also, Ocarina of Time's story was nothing groundbreaking. But what it did as a 3D game was startlingly different for the time.
Gotcha.
For a Zelda game. And The Last of Us, it's Uncharted with stealth elements and zombies and a more sophisticated storyline and better characters. It's nothing groundbreaking. People look at Ocarina of Time like they look at Gone with the Wind. That movie fucking sucks. That movie's bullshit. But at the time, no one had ever seen anything like it whatsoever. And I don't know if The Last of Us is the same way. What was that, 2011?
What, Last of Us?
Yeah.
13.
I don't know. Oh, even later. I don't know if that was how it was at the time. But that's fucking 4 years ago.
But, like,
I liken Last of Us to a movie like No Country for Old Men.
That's a great movie.
That's fair.
Where,
It's a
like,
great
there's a
fucking
bleakness to it, and overall, after the conclusion, an overall pointlessness to it.
Do you think...
And I really appreciate that.
And would you assume that...
I see what you mean.
Like,
That's what I mean by
That's a good
maturity. There's never, usually, at least in my experience, there's never a game where you feel like, man, fuck.
Would
you know what I mean?
Would you assume, though, that, like, every person you would ask who's watched No Country for Old Men is just like, hey, is that movie good? They'd be like, yeah, that movie's fucking great. Do you think everybody would say that who's seen it?
No, they'd say the ending sucked. They would just say the ending sucks.
I think most people would be
said that.
I think most people would say it's really, like, would speak really positively of
Yeah.
it. Really. But you can say the same about The Last of Us.
That's fair.
So
I will agree with you on
this
that
is
because
hard.
some people will say about Last of Us, it is the story equivalent of it is the story pinnacle of video games that has ever been reached. It's like this is like a movie. This is like a fucking movie. People that's the main thing about people who say about The Last of Us. It's just like it's more of a movie than it is a game. Yo, it's fucking good.
Ooh. I feel like a Final Fantasy game might be like the story, like would peak. Like, like 7 or something.
Honestly, for me,
right?
for me, probably like what I would assume people would say is something like Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
I would say
I
people
think
would
that
say
story's nothing.
Compared to what, though?
Nothing.
Oh, man.
I think that game's not that.
It's
like,
a very
it's a good,
beloved game.
I know.
better game, Breath of Fire 2.
Look, I've played Chrono. I've played.
I fucking love Breath of Fire 2, man.
Look,
that game was
seriously.
Time
People.
Splitters 2, baby. Now that's a story.
People.
Blinks. Play Blinks for the
Blinks.
For the first
Minecraft story mode.
People love talking about how great Chrono
Play Voodoo
Trigger's.
Vents.
People love talking about how great Chrono Trigger's story is. And I've played Chrono Trigger 3 or 4 times at varying ages, like 9, 13, 17, and like 20.
Wow.
And that story is...
You really like that game.
No, I keep looking for more.
I'm sorry.
Do you think that at a certain
I'm
age you
sorry.
would get it? Like at some point?
No, I think that story is not there.
But is that why you replayed it? Do you think that you would maybe get it at
He
some
wanted
age?
more,
No,
maybe.
I replayed it because I kept hearing about how it's the greatest story ever. And it's just, there's nothing there.
You guys, we're not going
It's a
anywhere with
time
this.
travel
We're all
thing.
disagreeing on separate things
That's,
now.
yeah. Now we're just throwing
We're
shit.
No,
all
I'm not
bickering,
disagreeing with
I think.
anything.
I think I'm throwing shit.
I'm actually
I
just throwing
apologize.
my opinion in here.
Look, I want to end this thing. I want a last-minute music discussion, picks, end.
Are
Sure.
we
I
discussing
want to
first?
talk to you.
Okay. You want me to get my music pick?
No, not yet.
We're having a discussion first.
This is a brief discussion.
All right.
What was one of your pinned tweets for a very long time, Daniel?
Oh, yeah. I know what it is.
Oh, I said if Kendrick Lamar does not win Album of the Year, then the people who determine the Grammys don't care about music.
Well, it's a full year later or more, and he has a new album out that has been toppling every sort of chart, every expectation, every medium.
Sure.
What do you have to say about that album?
I think To Pimp a Butterfly was better.
I do too.
I think that.
And to clarify, we're talking about Damn, which was released in 2017.
Very recently.
And To Pimp a Butterfly was 2015.
I think
basically a year apart, or 2 years apart.
I think that Damn was production-wise a really impressive album. I think some of the features that they show on that album are incredible. Like the fucking not U2. It was the Coldplay who they featured.
No, it's U2.
It's U2.
That's a great song. XX.
That
it went
song
over
was
surprisingly
cool.
well.
That's a good
That
song.
song was
It actually
cool.
is good.
That's a cool song, and I don't even.
And we were talking about earlier.
I don't hear U2 in
No,
that.
I don't either.
I don't hear it at all.
I don't either.
And like
You just hear guitar.
and
Exactly.
like I think
That's all I need
I think
from U2.
while the album Damn is conceptually not as good as To Pimp a Butterfly. For
Oh,
me,
I think by far. It's
because
just
like
The singles are better.
there was
I
What do
don't
you
know.
think?
I disagree.
That's what everybody's saying.
I disagree.
Oh, we can have a
People are
discussion
saying
for
To
this
Pimp
for
a
a while.
Butterfly overall is better, but the singles are stronger.
I
on
disagree.
Damn.
What were the signals of Damn? Humble and
Damn
Damn.
was
Humble and
Humble,
DNA.
DNA, Pride, sort of.
Is
Yeah.
Pride the one with Rihanna?
No,
Oh,
Pride,
yeah, I was
Pride,
really upset about that.
Pride was the kind of slow, sexy one with the kind of like
Slow and
backwards,
sexy.
the kind of like backwards beat. It's just like
Which is the one with
I've got
Rihanna?
so many-
Backtrack and like
so
reverse
many
stuff on that
theories
album.
and convictions.
Which is the one with Rihanna?
That was
Track 6, I believe.
It was no, I think it was track 3 or 4.
What?
Jesus. Let me pull up the album real quick.
I bought it.
But yeah, me too.
I bought the physical.
Oh,
Really?
really?
I'm
Nice.
surprised.
I bought the digital one. But I think that conceptually, To Pimp a Butterfly was better because it was a more coherent thing. I
That's what a lot of people are saying that are
think,
better.
you're right.
fans.
It was
I
track
agree.
number 6 is Loyalty featuring Rihanna.
Loyalty?
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Pride.
I'm talking about Pride. Pride was
Yeah,
number
Loyalty I do not like. There are two songs I really don't like.
I think Ya was okay. I'm talking about Ya. Ya was really good. That kind of like backwards, really like it's the song immediately following DNA.
That's such a good song.
I think that like the direction that Kendrick Lamar is going in, particularly with this kind of more intrusive, more like depressed, more like introspective thing, it's nice because To Pimp a Butterfly was this kind of discovery that he was going for. It was just kind of like, I've made it, I'm rich, it's not fulfilling me, then I came back home and my family is beautiful. Like, that's what To Pimp a Butterfly was.
I stand by Section 80, the mixtape, being his best. But I think To Pimp a Butterfly grew on me over time. When it came out, I didn't like it, really. But then
I've listened to it a few times. It doesn't hit me quite as much.
I think-
need to
it
listen
doesn't
to
really hit me.
I need to listen to it more.
I'm not a big Kendrick
probably.
Lamar fan, even, and it doesn't really.
I am a huge Kendrick
Let me give my
Lamar.
2 cents in.
Stop!
Damn it.
I think he's the best rapper today. Working.
To Pimp a Butterfly doesn't really hit me in any way. I don't think it's like, I don't know, whatever. I think it's a really good like album overall though, and I really like jazz and hip hop.
Yeah.
And that whole thing, and that stuck with that
He's
for
keeping
sure.
a lot of the instrumental aspects that so many other hip hop artists abandoned.
Yeah.
Even on his new album.
Right.
Yeah,
He's like
really
he's like a
impressive.
Tribe Called Quest for a new age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's implementing that jazz.
And I think that's a really impressive thing, but like the thing about Damn was there was nothing that
It's scattershot.
It is scattershot.
Overall as an
Nothing
album,
ties it together.
overall as an album,
To Pimp a Butterfly
nothing
is
really
conceptual.
Stuck with me, like, and I think that was a little bit disappointing for me, but I still think it was a good album. Some of the tracks on there are really nice sounding. Like,
Look, as far as how confident he is, where he is in his career, and his music videos in particular, I think it's the height.
do you think so?
For him professionally, there's no question.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, the 2 music videos that have accompanied this album are hysterically popular.
Yeah.
Particularly Humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fabulous music video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the music
is
video's good.
incredible.
But you know what my reaction was when you sent me the single before the album before I even knew he was releasing an album, and I just felt like this is a step back. It's a simple beat.
Yeah.
It is. It's definitely
And it just doesn't
Great.
sound like the next step for him.
DNA's better.
I agree.
As far as like flow and the way he raps, it's much better.
Look, I've said
Also,
this,
the beat changes are cool.
I've said multiple times with Chris, I am a huge fan of beat changes. That like halfway point where DNA gets that like slow, really hard banging.
That's what's so cool about the U2 track.
Yeah.
That song is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it goes really crazy towards the end.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, but like...
I'm amazed he hasn't released that as a single.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And like I really want to like this album. I really, like... The thing about it is, I feel like after Good Kid, Mad City...
Which I didn't care for.
I really like Good Kid, Mad City. Good Kid, Mad City was my favorite Kendrick Lamar album when it came out.
Oh.
Then To Pimp a Butterfly became my favorite album.
But Damn did not become your favorite.
But Damn did not become my favorite.
The real fans still say To Pimp a Butterfly is
that was a little underwhelming for me.
It's not my favorite, but I think it's the best. Whatever that's worth, you know what I mean?
I've listened to Damn a lot.
I've listened to Damn.
I can't be bothered to listen to it all.
I really listened to it a lot.
I just don't.
Nothing
is hitting for me.
What you need to understand is, and Chris understands this, I don't listen to hip hop unless it's upper echelon.
Yeah.
Particularly modern hip hop. This album really caught my attention. And it is making me look back into his catalog a lot further and really explore his music.
Yeah.
So
what I'll say,
it's very significant in that regard.
What I'll say about this album is, as far as sound, there's something that he's going for with this album that's a lot more contemporary. It's a lot more modern with his sounds, because I think something about To Pimp a Butterfly is that it borrows from old sounds that are they're beautiful. You know what I mean? Like some of the
there's some gorgeous tracks in this new one.
No, and I agree on that. But like let's say the song DNA. He has one and I don't mean to
that's a vicious song.
And I don't mean to downplay any of his songs, but I'm trying to remember what song it is. I think it's Element. It sounds like a Drake song. And I don't
Is that on the new album?
Yeah, and I don't mean that to be like derogatory.
Is that the one where his voice is auto-tuned?
I don't know, but like
that only makes sense though.
But
there's a song that's with someone named Zakaria.
It's not that one.
That song sucks.
And that's the thing.
I think he's a featured on that.
That's the thing. That's like
he's like auto-tuned and he's singing the whole time.
Ugh.
This thing is like I don't like there's something about it that if he's gonna go this direction, I think he has to be more experimental with his sound, which is why I will still say this is a different rapper.
Point of contention here.
And this is a different rapper, but if you like experimental sound, particularly in hip hop, listen to Danny Brown's 2016 album.
I knew you were gonna say
the
Danny
album.
Brown.
The album.
I knew it.
Atrocity Exhibition. I think that's my favorite album of 2016. It's fucking awesome.
People are for some reason talking about this album in that way a lot.
Fucking awesome.
People are trying to weigh these albums.
I have a hard time.
I heard this.
I'm having a hard time listening to that album.
I pit Damn with Atrocity Exhibition, and I think Atrocity Exhibition is a better album.
Wow.
And I really like Kendrick Lamar.
I gotta step back and listen to it then.
I have such a hard time.
I've heard it. Like I've heard people compare it constantly.
Yeah.
I have a hard time listening to Danny Brown in excess. Like he's just.
I think there's something about the way that he plays with instrumentation that's incredible. Like, if you're trying to go for a new sound, if you're trying to go for something postmodern,
that's so hard and like popular hip hop.
And that's the thing.
That's so hard.
And that's the thing. It's like,
I mean, he does that. I don't know if I like it though.
It's difficult.
And that's the thing. It's just like Kendrick Lamar right now is at the point where he believes, and a lot of his like followers believe, that he is the best thing in modern rap right now.
Some would say ever.
Not ever.
Some would.
But some people would say he's the best thing ever.
Compared to Future and the mumble rap
he is the best thing ever.
There's no question.
Yeah, but like...
There's no question.
But the thing is, like, he has to back that up with
Kevin Gates.
He has to back that up with something. And I think that this album was not the thing that he can back it up with. I think that To Pimp a Butterfly, conceptually, sonically, was a more experimental, was a more fleshed out, was a more...
I just don't know if he'll like ever make something that will be his opus like that.
I agree.
I still think this one is extremely confident.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
something that like I get like an overwhelming sense of that like nothing else he ever done. Like, wow, he really believes in what he's doing now.
Absolutely.
Like, it's frightening how well he's doing it.
Yeah.
Like, this man's vision, it's like he really feels it's finally hit, you know? Like, it's reached exactly the apex that he always wanted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just within his head or it's part of the production of the album or not, but
But do you think that, like, maybe it's gone a little bit too far in Kendrick Lamar's head? Because... I've
thought about it.
And I'm only saying this because I think To Pimp a Butterfly is a better album, but, like, let's say the song Be Humble. Of course it's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek. Be humble, but I'm not being humble in this song because I know I'm better. Like, do you think
even though he delivers a lot of humble messages,
but like he's still saying it's just like it's just like I am this, I am this, I am this.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't know. Like, I love Kendrick Lamar. I love the stuff he makes, and I really like this album.
I like it a lot.
But I don't think that if he's going to play the role of I am the best rapper right now,
I don't think he's playing that. I think everyone's saying.
But
you know, I don't think he's playing into that.
But to release a song called "Be Humble,"
I don't know. Think that plays into that. I mean, it may go to his head. It may, especially after this album. But we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah,
because I mean, after all the Grammy shit and everything, I don't know what it may have done to him.
Yeah,
but
because like To Pimp a Butterfly did not have this kind of
commercial success.
It's been psychotically successful.
Well, like fanfare pre and post release.
They have pushed
it was just like
so hard.
It was like 2 weeks after To Pimp a Butterfly came out. I was like, this is a really, really good album.
Yeah.
But there wasn't the fervor before it released. It was like, oh, yeah, he's releasing a new thing.
Yeah.
But like, when this was announced, or like, oh, it's coming out Friday, it's like, oh,
look at the hype behind Damn. Damn was like, oh my god, a new Kendrick album.
That's what I'm saying.
It's just like, oh, is there going to be a second one? Is this the first part of a 2-part album? Like,
it's like the peak. It's the peak of his popularity.
Yeah, it is
right now. Like,
he hasn't. He
has not dropped off.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
he's been like steady and
it won't stop.
And that's the thing.
It's like, crazy.
If like I think if he wants to continue that popularity, if he wants to keep that spike, if he wants to keep that spike of his album hype, he has to come into the album with the same fervor, with the same like need to deliver a message as he did with To Pimp a Butterfly.
This is what I mean.
Because
I feel like he had some. He knew the singles he was going in on this with.
Yeah.
And he knew they were going to be strong, and the rest was a matter of stringing together.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it filler because there's some really good tracks in between there. But those two singles in particular are brutally strong.
Yeah, there are
it's
some
like a
songs,
pop album.
There are some songs that are lackluster and they feel short.
Believe me, I know.
And like
that Zakaria song is bad.
Yeah,
it's just bad.
I agree. This is clearly quite a complicated conversation that we're never going to finish.
No way.
And
because it's interesting to like have three perspectives because I'm a big hip hop fan. I like Kendrick Lamar. I'm not a huge fan. You love Kendrick Lamar.
I really like Kendrick Lamar.
And you dabble in hip hop,
and
you really like
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I respect what he's doing, but I'm very cautious about where he's going.
Yeah.
Because I feel like his next step is either going to be the biggest thing or he's fucked.
Yeah. I think
he's at that apex.
Yeah, that's the worrying thing.
Like, he's at crossroads.
Because you would almost expect, like, To Pimp a Butterfly, oh, that's obviously, like, the on top of that. Like,
it's different.
But then, like, when you keep climbing like this, like, can he really do better? Or is he just going to do something so bad?
I just hope it's not a repeat. Like, another album with a few strong singles and a bunch of filler.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of. Because I do like him, even though, you know, in conclusion, I'll talk about this. I don't even know who Nardwuar is.
Yeah.
He did an interview with Kendrick Lamar about 5 or 6 years ago, where in the end, yes, I understand Nardwuar Serviette is one of the goofiest fucking human beings ever that plays a character, but Kendrick Lamar at multiple points mocks his extreme whiteness and looks back at his posse like, this motherfucker, what the hell? I'm a Norwood. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
I'll leave that negative taste. Music picks coming up.
Alright, so, I am a big hip-hop head, but sometimes...
Hip head.
But sometimes I do like to listen to, some of the more...
Folk
indie,
rock?
like obscure... honestly, no bullshit. I like to listen to the more obscure, like, rock music. Yeah. Obscure folk rock. So, this is a new up-and-coming band. This song, like... They came out with this song a while back ago. I think like in 2012, but it's really, really good song. It's a group of guys. They're called the Black Keys. They have a song called "Tighten Up." It's really good. I hope you like it. I'm
about to cut that preamp off. Cut you fucking all your throats. Fucking want this right now, god damn it, I'm drinking.
Of course I'm kidding.
It was a plot against you.
Yeah.
It was the plot in you.
Terrible band. Great name.
Of course I'm kidding. So
dick.
I am gonna stick with
the Black Keys.
El Camino is the greatest album ever produced. Or whatever it was.
El Camino?
What was it called? The car album?
Yeah, I think it was. Wasn't it called?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Joseph was huge into them.
I remember seeing that album. That album was in FYE and it had a sticker that says "Play Loud."
This is real music, bruh.
Jeez, man. The song that I'm going with is by a producer called Flying Lotus. He does, whenever he does rap, he goes under the name of Captain Murphy. This song is called Between Friends. He had a couple of songs called Between Friends and Between Villains, but this is my favorite one, and it's with Earl Sweatshirt.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. Who is like one of my favorite...
Mr. Sweatshirt.
Yeah, one of my favorite...
Mr. Sweatshirt.
Oh, Mr. Rogers' friend.
I actually like Earl.
I like Earl.
Have no opinion.
First off, I'ma start charging y'all per compliment you give to me. See how much purse I can earn off of it. As far as bars, you heard wrong if you heard continent. Team continents, incontinent turn sponsor. Rocking the first smokers with RC, go from rocking the beat to just curb stomping it. Serve consonants hotter than hot coals and surfing through ground permanent germs will jump off of it. Hot dog with no condiments, flow proper that show stopping me Bogarding it. Niggas be going hard and early be going hard as it and lick full shot in the focus. I'm whole talkative. Let the rottens in. Off a couple sake shots, watching pot growing shorts and Sasaki Crocs. Shotty lot of black faces, trading body shots for all of the belongings in your pocket. Harley, not gnarly tops, nolly pops. Excuse a bit of God, need a sheep buzzing like a water.
I like much like you said while we were listening to it. Flying Lotus has just been this name that's been floating around that I never.
I've heard it like I feel it my whole life.
Yeah,
like just never paid
there's
attention.
there's a whole radio station on GTA 5 like for him.
Yeah.
What?
Seriously.
Flylow FM.
Flylow FM is.
Whoa! How did he get that deal?
He's just that like.
Big.
He's a really good producer, and so.
It sounded really clean.
Yeah, and so he has a Captain Murphy album that this song is featured in, where he's featured in all of the songs, and I think he's a very, competent rapper. But on top of that, like, he makes the beats, and he's good.
And so much of, like, modern... What year is this? Is this modern?
It's more modern than the normal classic hip-hop.
Yeah.
It's probably like 2010, right?
You know what I'm always
Let me
going
look this up.
Look, you know what I'm always going to say? At least it's not Future, at least it's not Designer. The mumble shit, I miss enunciation.
Yeah.
Enunciation and, like, actual...
I like how you didn't pronounce
Thanks,
right?
it's late. But since I've been up a long time. But, like, actual competent lyrical hip-hop where you can follow what they're trying to convey is so great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he does it well.
Yeah, and like
a great degree of style.
And the thing about it is, okay, this song is from 2012. It's from an album called Duality.
Yeah, that's cool.
And like, it definitely sounds. There's a certain smoothness to it. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't fit in that boom bap jazz hip hop that like you expect some rappers to get into, because like you look at a lot of modern rappers who try to go for that old sound, that old smooth sound, and they get into that boom bap jazz.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, and see, and that's the thing. It's just like there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that like early Joey Badass sound.
Yeah,
it's that kind
That's
of.
something he got me onto.
And like, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I fucking love that. But it's refreshing to have modern instrumentals.
A little different.
But it still sounds smooth. It still sounds like
dangerously smooth.
It's rich. You know what I mean?
There's like he's a great producer.
Yeah,
like it's incredible.
Incredible producer.
Like you can tell this is like a labor of love for him.
Absolutely.
You know, personal touch.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
How about you, Jay? What's your pick?
What? Come on.
I wanted to exchange awkward looks with both of you.
Black
first.
Keys.
Black Keys?
You know, I don't like pop music. I really don't.
Chainsmokers.
Have we? I mean, has that not been established yet?
The Chainsmokers released a punk
fucking
album.
shut up. Oh, God. We were staying in Paris.
No, it's good. No, we were staying in Paris.
They're riffing metal cover Chainsmokers.
Oh my God.
No, we were staying in Paris. No.
Chainsmokers and like System of a Down.
Oh God. They're coming back. Actually.
Are they?
Yes, after a very long time.
Oh my
I'm
God.
not interested.
They do.
Yeah.
I
don't think I am either.
I have struggled time and time again with indie rock. Mm-hmm. You both know this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Especially as it approaches the more pop spectrum.
Right.
And also, I don't like choosing pretty popular songs. Mm-hmm. This is a pretty popular song.
F-U-N period?
Shut your fucking mouth. It's very poppy for what I'm going for, but I like the production on this. I think the music video is brilliant. It's definitely a part of this. A band called Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Never heard of them.
Multi-Love.
I do like the sound of it. Like, it does fit that kind of, like, equation of a pop song, but I think
the vocals are kind of poppy.
Yeah, like, I think some of the instrumentals...
But the production is definitely not.
Yeah, like, some of the instrumentals behind it, especially that kind of, like, whimsical kind of wawing guitar is really nice.
And, you mentioned Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
Which a big part of them is hazy,
we always try to
reverberance.
categorize you.
Yeah.
I like drug music.
See,
we've talked about it before. We like dreamlike music.
I like dreamlike LSD music, basically.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like, it tends to be that case, because I remember talking with Chris about this, but like, if somebody were to like look at Chris and be like, what kind of music do you like? Oh, you like this, and this? Oh, you're a stoner. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's something kind of, like, I don't know, it's a little sad that if you like whimsical music, that's kind of like lazy. Not lazy, but you know what I mean?
Back.
Like, laid back.
But also a little ethereal and kind of flowing.
It flows with the instrumentals rather than being on top of it.
Like, the thing that a lot of the music I listen to is, it's not. There's not a focus on the vocals or the instrumentals. It's the whole.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an organic piece.
It flows with it. It weaves.
It's like a full piece of music.
Yeah,
an orchestra.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
And that's something I've always been attracted to.
I enjoyed that.
that was good.
Really nice.
Ever since I hate to be this way, but college, I was metal kid up until then, and it's like, whoop.
Yep.
I hit a wall. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And it went to like this ethereal indie rock psychedelia situation. Yeah. And it continues to be in that category. And I've got, obviously, I don't know if part of this podcast I've related that I am in a strange place. Where am I? I'm at Chris and Daniel's place.
You are.
I don't know if you could tell from the microphone weirdness, but I hope in the company of others have a little more diversity with my picks.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I got this out of the way with you guys. And this is just a song I've been jamming lately.
Yeah.
This seems like a pick that you would pick. Yeah.
The rest are not.
So I'm excited for next week.
See, and that's the thing.
You
It's just
better be.
like, and like, not to delay like your picks so far, but like,
No.
but I kind of want to bring up this thing about guilty pleasures. Like, what is the deal with guilty pleasures? Because there is some music, particularly like for me, it might be like 80s pop music.
Oh, really?
And like late 80s, early 90s pop that like it classifies itself as this kind of guilty pleasure, but I don't feel like it's a guilty pleasure. I enjoy it because I enjoy it.
I liked 80s pop like 2 years ago. Like I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I kept
My
listening
next
to
pick is 80s.
quite a bit of it. But like I fell off of it.
Gotcha.
I don't know what it was.
It's a hard kind of genre for pop music. Like it's its own thing very much so, but there's a sound and an aesthetic that I feel like if you weren't a part of it, you don't hang on to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's totally
You know
it.
what I mean?
It's
Absolutely.
such an in the moment thing.
Yeah.
It's a feeling thing.
Yeah.
It fits well with movies and a lot of television
Absolutely.
when you see it.
Yeah.
But to just hear it, it's
Well, the
it falls
80s is
flat.
like the aesthetic age.
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Including
Yeah.
music.
Dude, aesthetic, bro.
Yo,
Come on,
Chris, tell us.
hit us
Let's
with that-
finish this thing.
hit us with that
Kill this long ass podcast.
vaporwave.
Yes, let us know about your Windows, whatever.
We actually have a-
Comcast.
Windows XP.
We have a pretty good
It's a
variety,
good operating
actually.
platform.
What do you guys think about, like, punk music?
Oh,
Like, fast-paced, bombastic
what decade
stuff.
are we talking?
Late 80s.
I never
Ooh,
listened.
You're talking to the right person.
I never listen to punk music.
Okay.
It's so energetic.
I've heard it and I
Very
liked it.
energetic.
It's so fun.
I've heard it and I liked it, but like you know how you have phases in your life of music that you like.
Sure.
Punk was never a phase in my life.
And see,
Oh, you missed the train.
yeah, there's something that will
Seriously,
always
no.
persist in me, I hope.
And
That it's
it
like,
does surprise me about him.
yeah,
He does like a lot of roots punk.
just like
It's
loud,
really
energetic
weird.
stuff.
Like in
Yeah.
earnest.
Yes.
You know, that's the thing I always noted about
This
it.
is so funny because this band was brought up unintentionally. And I like to root around. Specifically, I picked a
In the dirt.
Black Eyed Peas song that is not their
That
sound.
first
Oh,
one was
Falling-
really good.
Falling
It
Up.
was
That's
really
that's
good.
not their
Falling
sound.
Up was really good.
That's not what they sound
The
like.
bass is overwhelming.
So, this is from a 1989 album by the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh my god.
Called
You contrarian.
Punk Rock Classic.
Oh fuck.
Stadium
Go.
I'm a radio joke, I'm a Mr. Show, I'm a rock and pop star with the get up and go. Robin, I was too big with the sold out show. I've been on every cover, even Rolling Stone. You probably doesn't know, take out of the phone, compromise it in every other soul. I'm doing anything for the record to go. I only want what I can hold. We know that we'll never be better than Mr. Switch, superstar, even let your man. I'm from a good, perfect, and all man. Just put us on the show, you're a good old thing. Thank you very much, we should label us. We wouldn't want to call the record store up, but just put us in the category of the bus. And while you're just on putting your bus.
incredible.
That was, oh man.
What a roller coaster.
That was awesome.
God damn, Chris.
Like I said when we were listening to the music, it sounds like something that belongs in a Tony Hawk game.
Like, even better, though. Like, it's
Yeah.
like something I want to be in the Tony Hawk game. Like, I want to
you-
fucking
right.
grind, baby.
You want to skate to this music.
Like, just the fucking beat is just like, God.
You know, like we were talking about earlier.
That got me pumped. I'm like, what now?
on the YouTube recommendations, like they had released,
Wow!
they had released a new song like last week. And I was like, why are they still making music?
There's no good reason.
They have been around since 1984,
Fuck.
and I like those first 4 albums. I think they're fun and bombastic and like energetic and funky.
I've never heard anything like this from them.
This is awesome.
I've never heard
Me
anything
neither.
like this.
84 through 91, they're like this. They're just like loud and fun. But like,
That was amazing. Like, I felt like I was on a thrill ride.
I'm so glad I picked that because I feel like I've enlightened you in a way. Like,
I didn't know.
right, exactly. Because when you think of them, you think of Stadium Arcade. You think of
Yeah.
Danny California.
Topic of the day.
But like they released that album in like 2006, and Anthony Kiedis was 43.
Oh,
43.
oh shit.
And when that album came out, he was like 25. That's the difference right there. Like, that's all it is. They're just old and dried up.
No, they're more into the money.
Well, that too.
Which is the disturbing truth.
But like, they're so watered down. Like, that is so exciting.
That was seriously.
that was a
I'm
rush.
still like
that was,
I'm reeling. Like, I'm shaking here still.
We had a good variety this
That's
week.
cool.
That was-
Felt like a fucking,
Wow.
The Beat Agents, like that felt like a Beat Agents song. That was awesome. I like that
man.
a lot. Pretty good variety we had
Yeah.
in the music.
That was good.
It was good.
Definitely. And with that, we've gone like over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, join us soon because we're gonna be recording
Oh
real
shit!
soon.
Shit's gonna open up.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about all kinds of serious shit. We won't be as loosey goose.
This was kind of a catch-up
I've
podcast.
been up.
Yeah, we got to keep the fans thirsty. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I've just been through soccer practice. I've had a sip of water because the coach didn't let me drink a lot of water, and now I'm just like, I need to get to the dining hall because they've got the best lemonade in town, and because the cook is gonna make us the chicken and the stuffing tonight, and I hope that the biscuits are wet.
I like this. Already, I'm having fun. I'm jumping.
I think it sucks.